Welcome to Popcorned Planet. I am Andy Signore, and we are here to give you a full breakdown of the Travis Scott interview with Charlemagne the God. All right, let's do this. Again, not going to get distracted by the name. That's not here or there. Call themselves whatever he wants. But here he is. So here's the full interview. A lot of the media sort of given, like Charlemagne, in my opinion, treating this and Travis with kid gloves. Overall, if you didn't watch my first video that we posted with Christopher and where we went through and broke things down, which I highly encourage you do, this was a softball interview, without a doubt. Softball interview, and what's so frustrating about it is Charlemagne had an opportunity here to really ask some questions and just didn't. And the more I've learned and gone back is the fact that he's acknowledging that, you know, look, what's frustrating here is they are friends. Clearly they're friends, and I think Charlemagne did a disservice here in interviewing his friend and not just saying that, because this should have been if you're going to ask these types of questions and pretend like you're going to ask the questions, which it felt like Charlemagne was trying to pretend like he was doing, then you got to give us the clear, disclaimer of, I'm here to defend Travis because he's my friend. And that's what this is. So when this is put out there in the world, like Travis speaks out in the interview and the media is all going to run with it, it's all speaks out in a comfortable setting with a friend who's not there to harm him or ask hard questions. And the reality is someone needs to ask him some tough questions, because after watching this, I don't feel like Travis has learned anything. And I'm going to start and stop this through. If you want to watch the interview without interruption, you can go to Charlemagne's YouTube channel and you can watch it there. We are going to be starting and stopping a lot because I'm going to hear and offer commentary, because this is news. And this is a commentary video reacting to this interview. So friendly warning, I don't want to hear people in the comments complaining, why do you keep talking over it? Because that's what this channel is. If you want to watch it clean, there it is. See the God. And you can learn about, you can watch it in its entirety if you want. But I want to watch it with you guys because I figured offering some commentary would, at least my insight, my opinions here. These are my opinions and my insight. And I think there's massive spin going on here. And I think there is a cover-up of the powerful. And I'm not just saying that to be a conspiracy theorist. Live Nation, all these, Apple, there's a lot of very wealthy, powerful, connected people involved in this that want this to go away. They want you to forget about it. They know the investigation is going to take months. They don't want us talking about it. And Travis wants to get back out there, show some remorse, be apologetic, and then we all sort of forget, and he gets to go make another Astroworld. But for me, personally, I'm not okay with that. I think there needs to be some serious accountability. What happened here wasn't just an accident, in my opinion. There were multiple things that went wrong, and I think there were multiple people, not just Travis. I think Travis is responsible, but as is Live Nation, as is the venue, as is the people who set up the barriers and designed the stage, which apparently Apple had something to do with. All that stuff, everybody who was in charge of this thing has stake in this, and that's why there were $10 billion lawsuits on the hook. So for Travis to go out there and set this narrative like, hey, we got to learn from this so it never happens again, and then we'll move on. We all got to listen to each other, and it's time for healing and love right now. Sorry, Travis. You don't get to dictate that. You don't get to dictate that. So let's get through it. Let's watch it together and get ready. Because I see a lot of, I couldn't handle the 50 minutes of fakeness. Well, let's see how much you muster here. Because I'm going to get frustrated with you guys, but I figured my commentary might be a little bit more interesting. So here's Charlemagne opening it up.
Travis Scott, what's up, brother?
What it do?
How you feeling?
How you feeling? Right up the gate.
I've been on about like different type of like emotions, emotional roller coaster. It gets so hard because, I always felt like connected with my fans. Mm-hmm. And, I went through something, and I feel like fans went through something and people's parents went through something.
Okay, did you hear what he just said? I went through something was the first thing this man said. I went through something. The fans went through something. Did you notice he called himself out first? Like literally, we're 30 seconds in and we've already set up Travis as the victim of this. Like, pay attention. Don't just be sheep. And to be clear, I had someone in the comment section like, Andy, your hatred of Travis makes you biased. Guys, I don't know who the F this guy is. I don't listen to his music. I couldn't care. You know what?
I could care less.
couldn't have used that drop any better. I couldn't care less about this guy or his music. I don't care. What I care about are the victims. So if there's anything I'm angry about, it's that. So any passion that's coming through today and my breakdown of this, I want it to be very clear from the get-go. I don't care. I don't know. I don't like the music, but I don't care about his. Make whatever you want, dude. But when you start encouraging people the way you were, yeah, I'm paying attention because I want accountability. If anything, I'm the most objective because I'm not. I got no fandom attached to him, and too many people do. Too many people look up to him or require his payments, his money to live. Right? A lot of people want to be connected to him. I have no interest in being connected to him. I want to be objective. And if evidence came out tomorrow that was like he wasn't responsible, I'll be the first one to make the video that says, "Look, I was wrong. We have proof now that he wasn't." But until that happens, I'm going to be asking the questions. Okay, so take it and be prepared. That's what we're doing here today. Here we go.
And it's, it really, it hurts. It hurts the community. It hurts the city.
How are you doing today? Is what the question was, and it's all about him. And then he's catching himself. It hurts the city. It hurts this. Yeah, okay, that's true.
And it's just been a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings, a lot of grieving, and just trying to get wrap my head around it. I really wanted to be there, and just wish you could just kind of like hold everyone, kind of just heal them, talk to them, have conversations.
He wants to hold them, talk to them, have conversations. Why? Because you don't want to take accountability. It's a theme you're going to notice throughout. Can we just love and learn and heal? Are you taking accountability, Travis? Stay tuned. Let's find out.
It really just hurts, man.
Also, if you want to play the drinking game, every time he says you will be dead by the time this 10 minutes in. So be prepared. It's going to annoy you a lot. And I don't even try to be mean, but it's like when you listen to a guy who has trouble stringing words together for 50 minutes, it becomes really bad. As Christopher said in the video, he's just a terrible witness. He's all over the place. He's not confident. He doesn't really explain what he's saying. His statements don't a lot make sense. So get prepared for that ahead of time. And it's a lot of me. So, and then catching himself. Because I'm distraught, guys. It's really been tough for me, this is his look. He thinks this is the look. After everything that happened, he's out there. Yeah, I've been going through so many emotions. Blah, blah, blah. The first thing I would say, if I was going through this personally, and why I'm so sort of just frustrated with him. How did this happen? I can't sleep knowing that my fans were crushed. I can't even process it. I am so angry that on my watch this happened, and I can't get over it. If there's any it's going to be that. I've been wrapping my head about who did that. What I've been looking through it like crazy, and I've figured out it's blank. There would be anger, there would be frustration, there would be actual remorse and emotion on the fact that 10 people are no longer with us, including children. And instead it's, yeah, I've been going through emotions, it's tough, man. It's his damage control. This is damage control. And I don't doubt that he's having emotions, but Travis, you look so dumb. You're pleading to the people who love you, who are going to accept you, who you're paying. But you got to plead to us, the rest of us, of the community who are holding you responsible. This is not the look.
What's your intention with this conversation? Like what do you
Good question.
hope to get out of this, or what do you hope to get out?
I don't personally have an intention. I just feel like something happened.
His team
and
does.
I feel like it's just.
He doesn't have an intention, but I bet you his team sure does.
I needed just a way to kind of like communicate,
Mm-hmm.
One, the families are grieving, it's fans that experienced something, it's fans that came to a show. And I feel like I just have like I've always been that person to always see things through with the people that shared experiences with me. And, it just, things happen and, I just kind of, it's been such a time and I've just been trying to just really figure things out, you know.
I'd like to say it here and throughout every time. I don't know. I don't know, Travis, so stop telling me I know. But when someone says that over and over again, it's a proof that he's used to only being around people that agree with him. You know? You know? You know? Because every time I ask a question, you know? And then Charlemagne's got to be like, yeah, I know, yeah, I know. It's just proof of his power, his celebritydom, his lack of understanding anything else, you know? You know, guys? Imagine. I understand. We all have tics. It's hard to string and talk for hours at a time. I'm not the smartest person. I'm well aware of that. I've told you, there's certain politics and things. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about for a lot of stuff, but I'm open and honest about it, right? And I tell you when I don't know a case or I'm learning it. And I'm sure you guys can make fun of me for stuff I say. I do my I do my stutters. We all do. That's not what this is about. This man says, you know, literally every other word. And we don't know, Travis. We don't know. Stop telling us we know. That's what you're there to tell us about. And when you keep saying you know, and Charlemagne's going to keep saying, yeah, I know. How do you freaking know what he just said? Does anybody follow what he just said? What was his intention? What was the response Travis said? Because you know. Y'all know, right? Y'all know.
I know you. I'm sure you experiencing remorse, but was there any hesitation to have this conversation because of the litigation you may be facing?
Yes. Was there any hesitation to have this conversation due to lawsuits? Yes. But just like Alec Baldwin, their ego has the best of them. Their team's like, we got to get ahead of this. Alec just did an interview. You got to do one too.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course you got people that's just like, oh, what? Like, you know, but.
You're not going to be able to unhear the you knows now. Sorry. So, ding. Can someone keep track? Can someone go back and count while we're watching this? Is there anybody who volunteers to raise their hands and tell me how many times you know is said? You know?
It's not about that. You know, it's, you know, you're an artist, whoever people think you are, but at the end of the day, you're a human being, you know, and you have emotions. You want to communicate them emotions, you know,
4 times.
And trying to find the best way to communicate, you know, how you just feeling, you know.
6.
How have you been?
So, I'm sorry. This isn't funny. This isn't funny, but I don't know how else to react. People are buying this, you know? It's literally all he says over and over again is like, you know. Haley, you on it? Okay, please keep track because we already have like 10. Just go back quickly, catch up, and don't do the drinking game. I do not want to be responsible for you guys. Please don't. But you're hearing it. It's like that. There's just no substance here. There's nothing. There's nothing here. So I don't even mean to like pile on. Okay, so the guy's not as intelligent. Whatever. Maybe he's not a good speaker. Okay, they don't do this interview for 50 minutes, dude. This looks terrible. If you're not good at something, don't do it.
Coping with the aftermath of everything.
How are you?
Just emotionally, just you.
How are you coping? So first question out the gate, let's ask, because you know, how, that's the biggest question I want to know is how are you coping, Travis Scott? I finally get a chance to sit down and that's what I want to, figure out is how are you coping, man?
As a human.
As a human. How are you coping as a human? As if there wasn't clear bias here from Charlemagne, which again, I guess I just wish he would have been up front and said, look, we're friends. You wanted to talk to me. If he had done that, I would have respected Charlemagne more. But he's hyping this as like the first speaks out first interview. Yeah, I got the conversation with Travis. And it's so clear you're biased. You were friends with this guy and good. I'm going to give Charlemagne credit. Charlemagne's standing by his friend. But that's what's problematic here. The news isn't saying that. The news is taking this like Travis did an interview and he's not responsible. And that bugs me.
Room for a while, a lot of thoughts. And luckily, people around that you can kind of bounce ideas. But it just been, I've been doing this for such a long time. And, nothing like this ever happened, So it just kind of like, you just kind of figuring out. And at the end of the day, like these fans are your family. So you just feel like you lost something, and you you do these shows honestly to, for people to have the best experience, and just to think that something like this happened, you're just trying to figure out, you know, just wrap everything around. And so even just for the first couple weeks, you know, it was just me sitting down, but I had to really channel these emotions to just remember, like, you know, if no one's gonna be a voice for these people, I gotta like kind of step up and kind of like be a voice.
Nobody's gonna be the voice for these people, so I gotta step up. You know?
Just figure out that, you know, this doesn't happen in the future, just shows, period. You know what I'm saying? Or figure out the bottom solution of what's going on and just try to ensure people, you know, safety and what they're doing, you know?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm sorry I pointed out the because now it's really hard, to not hear the so then everything is just like gets annoying. Listen to this man, because he's a terrible speaker. He's a terrible speaker. But that's the first points I want to make sure you're paying attention. What's his intention? He didn't answer honestly. His intention was that his team insisted, make sure you tell everybody that we need to figure out how this doesn't happen again in the future. That's what we got to figure out. And he's going to say it over and over again. And by the way, we're now limited. I knew it. I don't know when it happened. I lost track, but what did I say? What did I say, guys? Now it's not suitable for most averagers. As soon as I started getting into the power of it all, everything else, what did I tell you? At the beginning of the show, it was green. I showed you it was green, and I wanted you to see it happen live, and I'm sorry I didn't see you catch it live, but when I call out the power, when I call out these stories, YouTube suppresses it. And you just saw it happen live. So thank you, YouTube, for proving my point. And I'm sure it happened a little bit ago. But there you go. So what does that mean? Please smash that like button right now. Share this video. Share all the videos. And donate if you can, because it really does help, because now, boop, I don't get to make this. My YouTube revenue was like, yay. And it just went. And so us creators are completely reliant on your support directly. So whether you can do that monetarily, thanks to everybody who steps up and is able to do that. Those of you that can't, you can at least help by smashing the like button, engaging in the comments, sharing the content. Go to my link tree. There's a lot of ways you can join the community and be a part of this community and help. So thank you, everybody supports. Andy, you didn't do anything wrong. Thanks. Welcome to my life. I wish I didn't have to rely on the donations so much. I really do. I would love to be able to have my videos take off. And I'm like, you know what, guys, don't worry about it, because YouTube's paying me properly, but they don't. And that's why I pin a comment at the top. Stream Elements, pay them, not YouTube, so the funds come directly to me. Or Cash App, all those things. Buy me a coffee, whatever you can muster. It all adds up, and it all helps us creators keep reporting and being honest, because they don't want us to be honest. Why? And that's what I'm going to get to in this interview, and we're going to keep going. We're calling out powerful people who are covering shit up, guys. If you don't believe it, open up your ears. Stop being sheep. Stop being sheep. And there were comments in the video when I posted this. You're being hard, Andy. This was a great interview with Travis. What interview are you listening to? We're we are almost 4 minutes in, and all I've heard is All I've heard is the man being interviewed telling the interviewer over and over again what he knows, and the interviewer saying, yeah, What kind of interview is that? That's not a good interview. Is that a good interview? Am I going crazy? Or is that a biased, not good interview? I'm curious what you guys think. So thanks, and Maximilian, thank you just for stepping up. Vicky Love earlier, no, Travis, you went to Dave and Buster's. Oh, we'll get there. Haley became a member. Thank you so much, Vicky Love. I love your content. Well, I love your support, and I love you being here, Vicky Love. Cynthia Brawley also became a member, and Angela Wilson became a member overnight. Thank you guys so much again. At any time, even if you're not live, you can always hit join, or you can support. The links are in my description. Thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. I can't do it without your support. As you just saw live, YouTube does not want me to tell these stories. So please keep your comments coming through the stream elements, or if you have to do super chats, whatever works, send it over. I will pause throughout the show to thank you and address your comments, because I always take the time to, especially the ones. And so Jennifer F., thank you for just sending that over as well. Maximilian, Travis Scott is very uncompassionate to the tragedy and apathetic as well. Facts, and we're going to get that. You're going to see it. Gabby and our fan, thank you, Andy. It's time to burn these celebrities and their own money. Here's $5 so you can buy yourself a snack in case you get hungry. Cheers to that. I will, in your honor, Gabby. Thank you so much. All right, I will keep pausing. Thank you guys so much for the support. Keep it coming. Chat, remind everybody, mods, because it's as you just saw, we are already demonetized for this. We're demonetized for this video already. What did I say that demonetized this video? Please allow Explain, YouTube. You can't, because nothing.
Yeah, you said you was in the room, but then people saw you at the golf course.
Yeah,
with Michael Jordan and Mark Wahlberg.
So here's Charlemagne, to his credit. Yeah, you say you were in the room, but you were on a golf course with, because what were you doing? And Travis's answer is like, well, I've been in a room dealing with all the emotions, you know? And Charlemagne's, yeah, well, you were on a golf course with Mark Wahlberg and Michael Jordan.
What was that?
What was that? Good, okay, good. First, like, balls. Charlemagne's like, am I allowed to ask that?
It was just Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, it's Thanksgiving. Cool. You know, because all those families of the loved ones who were lost, yeah, I'm sure they had a good Thanksgiving golfing with Michael Jordan, right, Travis? It's a good look.
No, they were there. You know, it's just good people to have around in the community.
You know, good people to have around, like Mark Wahlberg and Michael Jordan. Just good people to have around in the community, you know?
And, you know, that was just more like a personal time, just trying to get around. I think, like, some fan came and asked for a photo.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Now, let's talk.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, oh, good answer. Good answer, right? That was a good answer to a hard question. Okay, cool. It was just personal time.
Talk about that night, man. When did you find out things got as bad as they did? Now, that's the question everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
All right, and Sansa Stark, you're trying so hard to pin this all on Travis. This interview was great. No evidence he knew people were dying. Who would want to be liable for death? Sansa. In no way am I pinning all of this on Travis. Are you listening? Because I sense you're not listening, Sansa. And it's frustrating because I'm pretty clear in chat. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've said multiple people are responsible. Multiple people are responsible. Now, I'm right now focusing on Travis Scott because he gave an interview. And that's what we do. And even Charlemagne at the end is like, they're going to pick this apart. Damn right we are. Because Travis Scott is currently trying to deny any responsibility. He currently served legal documents, Sansa, saying he is not responsible at all. And I disagree. I still disagree. I believe Live Nation is responsible. I believe a lot of people, there's a lot of people responsible. And if anything, the investigation is to figure out who's responsible, who's going to have to pay. But Travis Scott is doing a whole hour-long interview with a friend to tell people like you, Sansa, that he didn't do anything wrong. He's fine. When in reality, I'm sorry, this isn't a cop. This isn't a deposition. This is his friend asking the questions. Someone's got to ask the questions, Sansa, because no one else is. And I also, for the point, thank you for riling me up, where is the remorse? Where is the emotion? Just because he's suddenly quieter doesn't mean he's showing any remorse. And we're going to prove it because I'm going to watch the whole damn thing with you, and we're going to tell you when it's good, when it's bad, and I'm going to give you my thoughts throughout. So, Sansa, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not trying hard to do anything. Again, to use the drop.
I could care less.
About Travis Scott. His music, anything. I am not a fan. Sansa, are you a fan? Because if you are, I would beg you to step back and look at it yourself and wonder, maybe I'm just being too much of a fan of Travis to accept what he's telling me and not ask bigger questions. That's what I would challenge back to you. But thank you for the $5. Thank you, Andy Pitt. Thank you, AG Chiapata. Thank you, R. Lee. Doesn't fall under fair use commentary. Yeah, if I'm offering commentary, it does. Christina Garrett became a member. Kit Kat also, it's not much, but thank you for your work and keep up the great content. Thank you so much, Kit Kat. Jules Gibson, thank you so much. Andy Pitt again. I'm used to be so bad at saying but I don't talk much anymore. There you go. Hey, we all say once in a while. It happens, or we all make stumbles, but I've never heard anybody say 8 times in 10 seconds. Travis Scott's gonna prove us wrong. So Smargada. Thank you so much for the super chat. I am free to be me. Travis clearly doesn't care to or can articulate emotion, empathy for others. He has momager crisis and LT handling his PR to cover. Oh, momager Chris and Lou Taylor handling his PR to cover this neatly. Love you. Facts. That's the problem. Sansa and others who are sort of thinking I'm being too harsh in this. Dude, Lou Taylor is involved in this shit. Kris Jenner is a master at PR. You're telling me there's not PR spin happening right now? You are sheep. You're being sheep. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean to you, but open your eyes, open your ears, pay more attention. It's so sad to see all these people who are, you don't have to agree with me, but like at least hear the other side here. At least hear the other side.
Yeah, it wasn't really until like minutes until like the press conference until I figured out exactly what happened. You know, even after the show, you know, you just kind of hearing things, but you don't know. I didn't know the exact details until, you know, minutes before the press conference.
So he heard it before or after the he's all over the place. But anyway, he heard it around the same time at the press conference is when he heard it. So even though you're going to learn later, no, he heard some of it after, but not the extent of it. So what he knew and when, not very clear still. He's not answering that clearly at all.
And even at that moment, you kind of just like, wait, you know, what? Like, you know, you just went through something and it's just like, wait, what? You know.
So you didn't know people that actually passed away and stuff?
Nah.
Wow.
Until minutes before, you know, which is, yeah, you know, and the thing is like, you know, people pass out, you know, people, you know, things happen at concerts, but something like that, it's just like.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable, looking down. All these are just traits of just like, don't know what to say now because it's bad and I know it, and that's why I have to do this interview all quiet.
People said they collectively heard folks screaming help every time you stopped the song to get your attention. Did you hear any of those?
So I want to, again, speculation here, to be perfectly fair. Speculation happening. I would bet you $100, $1,000, that sheet of paper that Charlemagne has, all approved questions. All approved questions by his team that he knew in advance. That's my guess. It's my guess. And he couldn't not ask this question. So this isn't a hard asking question, in my opinion. This is like a duh question. Let's hear your response to this. And so just keep that in mind, because I know there's going to be some who's like, well, Andy, look, he's asking about the people saying stop, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, because he has to. And I'm sure Travis has his response ready. So what's did you hear it?
Screams?
Nah, man. And you know, it's so crazy because I'm that artist too. Like, you know, anytime you can hear something like that, you want to stop the show. You want to make sure, you know, fans get the proper attention they need, you know. And anytime I could see anything like that, I did, you know. You know, I stopped it like a couple times to just make sure.
To his credit, and again, all sides, there was one point he did see someone passing out, and we've played on this channel multiple times. Yo, get to him. And then he did the funeral his weird auto-tune as the guy's phasing out. We did notice that. He did do that. That is correct.
Everybody was okay. And I just really just go off the, you know, the fans' energy as a collective, you know, call and response. And I just didn't hear that. You know, I got music, I got my in-ears, but I just didn't hear that, you know?
Break that down a little.
Now, I'm going to say, I don't know if he heard it. I don't know if he heard it. It seems unbelievable that he wouldn't have heard it, but where I get more frustrated is he saw the ambulance, which they're going to talk about, and people were on stage telling him. Now, we're going to hear his answers to some of that stuff, sort of, but that's what the investigation is really about. How much did he know? Who knew? Who told him? All that stuff. But Travis isn't having any bit of that. He's trying to nip that in the bud before we even get to that point.
A little more. Like nobody knows what it's like being on stage except for other artists. So speak to us from that perspective of what you can see and hear. It was like, what, 50,000 people?
Yeah, I mean, you got like a venue, you know, filled with like 50,000 people. But it's like a sea. You got lights, you got sound, you got pyro, you got your in-ears, you got your sound, got your mic, you know, got the music, you got band, there's all type of, you know, stuff going on.
So it's hard to tell excitement from danger, so to speak?
Leading question. Notice the leading question.
Of course.
You're answering it for him so he can answer it safely.
Everything kind of just sounds the same. And at the end of the day, you just hear music, you know? And when you do, you just hear amongst of things, you know? But when you're in a show, you just enter the show, and anytime you can feel anything close to you, you know, you try to like definitely get to that.
So as an artist, how much can you actually, I guess, help in that position?
You can only help what you can see, you know what I mean? And then, you know, whatever you're told, you know what I'm saying? Whenever somebody tell you to stop, you just stop.
That's true. That's true. I'm not going to deny there. That's a correct answer there. If he didn't see or know, then yes, that's valid. But there's a lot of footage and a lot of stuff out there, and it's hard to believe. And he did see the ambulance, but he's going to talk about that. We'll get there now. I want to know if you believe it, you know?
But just wasn't it.
Wasn't that night, huh? You know, raging.
So again, where my frustration, where I don't believe it, just so we're clear, like that was not a bad answer. Let's be fair. I call it what it is. But why isn't he angry? And how does he not know what happened yet? I've watched this interview and we've talked about that. And I want you to understand where I'm coming from of my frustration that's been brewing since I've already watched this once. He's going to claim that he didn't know any of this stuff, even though, seems to know everything, but he doesn't know what happened. He needs to figure it out. I call BS on that. Washington Post put together in 2 weeks. There was a whole Hulu documentary that was together already. They're putting shit together like that has clearly explained what happened. There were people in one quadrant of the venue, and when they were coming from the other stage, they got pushed in. And this is a rowdy crowd. And when Drake showed up, especially, it kept getting rowdier and rowdier, and everyone just kept pushing, not aware of what was on, from the people in the back to the people who were stuck, and they were being crushed into a corner, like a horseshoe with no exit. And that's what happened. That's really what happened. And the question is, did he know the extent of what was happening? Who designed it? Why? The energy, the turnt energy the rage that he didn't really call it as much here, but he's done in the past and his audience is used to. All that in my eyes, played a part of it. So the fact that he has to know that, or he's just ignoring it or not doing the homework, and the fact that he's not angry at that, if he really is the person who's saying what he is, like, I didn't know, nobody told me. Why wouldn't you be livid at the people who didn't tell you? That's what I want you to keep in mind as we're watching this, because we're going to get there. And I realized I've already told it in the first video, but again, imagine you being Travis Scott and you find out after the fact that your team that you put in place to trust you and your venue and your fans, your family, didn't do their job and 10 people lost their life, including a child. Would you be like, think about how you would react, or a normal person would react, and then tell me if this is how you would do it. Play dumb, not point fingers. Because I'm sorry, I would be pointing fingers. I'd be like, I don't understand how the crowd management team didn't do this. I don't understand how Live Nation wasn't prepared for this. I don't know. You figure it out. You get angry. You go down those halls because you need to figure out the answers because you're distraught and upset and have remorse. You know what I mean? And have empathy for these people who are no longer with us. So keep all that in mind. That's where I'm coming from. If it's like, I just don't buy a word he says anymore.
Has been a part of the culture, of your shows. You didn't on this night, but in the past, you've encouraged, I guess, the kind of energy that could have led to something like this happening. Mm-hmm. Do you think that contributed to the energy of this night?
Yeah, I think,
Yeah. Do you think that energy you've encouraged in previous shows could have affected it in here? Yeah. No. Which is it? Yeah, no. He literally just said, yeah, no, Okay. Did that answer the question for you? Well, let's see him keep going.
It's something I've been working on, for a while, of just creating these experiences and trying to show like the experiences happening in a safe environment.
So he's creating these experiences. Did you hear him say that? Oh, that's but him or the professionals? Okay. He's creating the experiences, but he's not responsible, right, Sansa?
Mm-hmm. Us as artists, we trust, professionals to make sure that, things happen and people leave, safely. You know what I'm saying?
And they didn't. So why aren't you mad at them? They didn't. If you truly believe that you were relying on professionals, where's the anger? Where's the rage now?
And this night was just like a regular show. Mm-hmm. It felt like to me. As far as like, the energy, it didn't feel like it was like, people didn't show up there to just be harmful. Mm-hmm. People just, I think, showed up to have a good time, and then, something unfortunate happened. So it's the audience's fault? They were being harmful? Because, again, from the information I got, the information I have is, again, this was a crowd control problem. There's an energy and a crowd problem that he's basically admitting that his audience is trouble. But he's going to explain it more. It's not just harm, but he's going to correct himself. But the reality is, like, this is about a crowd control. But so now he's sort of blaming the audience. And I think we really just got to figure out, what that was,
Does raging make it harder to identify when something is going wrong in the crowd?
Yes. Well, I think, yes. Raging is just you know, they have a textbook, you know, definition, but, you know, in
He just said, 5 times. How does that happen?
concerts, I mean, we've grown it to be just an experience of having fun. It's not about just, harm. It's not about that. It's about just letting go and having fun.
Do I need to play the clip? Do you guys remember? It's not about harm, it's about having fun. Is that like the time when Travis screamed at the guy who stole his shoe to, beat at him up? Was that fun, Travis? How about the time when you called the people who were on the balconies to jump? Was that just to have fun? How about the time you called it the nerd on stage for being in your presence and wrecking the mood of the show because some cameraman who looked like a nerd was behind you and you almost beat him up? It's all fun, right? That's the How about when you told your whole crowd and you got sued? You actually had to pay for this one because you were charged with starting a riot at Lollapalooza. I think you started 2 riots, Travis. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. Those aren't riots. Those are fun riots, where he's telling them to just parade and push down. Cool. Yeah, has nothing to do with it, guys. Yeah,
help others, love each other. It's not about just, harm. That's not what it's all about.
It's not just about harm. I got to go back. This is such a telling piece here.
Help others, love each other. It's not about just, harm.
It's about loving each other and helping each other. It's not just about harm. So it's sort of about harm, though, is what you just said right there. Do you even realize you just said that? Yeah, there's harm, but it's not just harm. It's also about helping each other, guys. It's about fun. It's about being there, and it's about love. Because all the clips I see at Travis Scott shows, I always get, when he's screaming, "We want blood, we want rage," I'm always feeling the love. You know what I mean? Do you guys feel the love in all the clips that you hear from his shows? All that love, demanding blood and rage. Just, he wants some blood love. That's what he wants. That's what it is, guys. Oh, thanks for clarifying that, Travis. You're changing my mind.
That's not what it's all about. The show isn't just rambunctious for an hour. That's not what it is.
Just for some of it.
Trust me, I grew up on crunk. So, I understand. You don't want it to get too out of hand.
Yeah, but the energy is high, and
they both know a lot. Did you catch that? Between the two of them, it's got a dozen more knows.
And that's why you want to just make sure that, people are surrounded, to make sure that people are just having the best experience. You know what I'm saying? I can't say the energy is high, but, you make sure that people are there for people to have like the best experience and leave.
Yeah, you want people to have a good time. You don't want people to get hurt
at all.
Yeah. And
unless they steal your shoe, or unless they're happen to be on stage doing their jobs, or unless they're in front of the riot that you start. Fun, guys, fun and love, right, Sansa? Just fun and love. He's telling the truth here. Sansa, I'm sorry to call you out. I don't think that's your real name either, but you've now become the Travis Scott Army. Like, are you really buying this? Come on. You're really buying this? This is spin, guys. This is a friend of him who's literally letting him get it off from this. He's slapping him on the wrist. There's not a single push or anything in this.
God forbid passed away. And, it's typical for you to stop a show to make sure fans in the crowd get the help.
Now, Charlemagne's making it very clear. The interviewer is making sure to make a point to tell us that Travis Scott is always stops shows. That's news to me.
They need. There's even footage of that night of you doing that during the set. Were you unable to sense like a difference in urgency this time around?
I mean, yeah, because you stop the show, but if something's gonna happen, if it's something detrimental, somebody's gonna let you know.
It's weird because Travis Scott's statement from his people was that it's ludicrous to think that Travis Scott could stop a show. That was the statement that Travis said. And I know it's a long video, but you know what? Let's remind you. Let's keep it honest. Because he's not responsible because he wouldn't have been able to stop the concert. The idea that he could end the show was ludicrous. But there's no PR play happening here. Right, Sansa? He just admitted he could stop. You stop the show when you know. But it's ludicrous. This is ludicrous. Well, he's admitting to being ludicrous then.
Or the show just stopped.
I thought that was ludicrous. Which one is it, spokesman or Travis? It's both,
And that just wasn't the case. I just kind of stopped the show. You just ask, you have a call and response with the fans. You try to, generally get a response, but if you don't get like a hard stop, it's just you can't. You just don't. You just go off of what's going on, which makes it so like so crazy because like if I feel like if anyone would have known, it would have just been like it wouldn't have got that far,
Mm-hmm. If anyone had, I would have, not stopped. So anyway, I think I deciphered that he's saying, look at that face. He's like, I think I know. Charlemagne's I think I know face. Because you said a lot of knows there. He's trying to say if anybody actually had known, they would have stopped the show. That's what we all assume. And I'd like to think that's true. And maybe there is a point where no one was saying it through his ears. But we have a lot of fire people, and we have records of people and the security and all the EMTs. They were all trying to stop the show. Live Nation tried to stop the show. The show kept going. So if Travis truly didn't hear it, you'd think Travis would have the wherewithal to realize, I got to call these effers out because they didn't tell me, because I should have. And I didn't. This is all backpedaling, guys. It's all backpedaling.
What headspace were you in when you posted that initial response video?
I mean, it was. I think it had to been the night of, So
did it happen the night of, guys? He might have recorded it, but didn't he post that a day or two later? Can someone verify that with me? When did he post that? But anyway, let's hear what he says.
So, I was just in a headspace of just trying to get a communication out to my fans. I had little to no information. So I was.
He got the information right afterwards, but then he made that without any information. Which is it?
I was just trying to figure it out and just communicate to them, Yeah, I was just reacting just literally just to get something to the fans. It's people that showed up.
Ah, cool. Well, that helps you, didn't it? That edited piece that you just wanted to put out there for the fans that someone edited and made black and white, did all that stuff. I guess you could have made the filter. That was edited. There were cuts. Someone cut it together and put it out there. Got it. It's interesting how he's rewriting it all.
Do you regret that?
Morning after. Thank you, Sharon. It was the morning after. Okay.
Initial video, do you regret reacting in that way or not having all the information before you said something?
I mean, yeah, because, you just don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, I don't, I just wanted to get something out. How my message came out, I can't, I can only go off what I know. But my true.
I can only go after what I know,
Intentions of it, was really just trying to get a message across and, really wanted to just touch to the fans, touch to the families, that we here, we grieving, and we'll get through this, through this process.
So he wanted to get something out, and it was very telling what he just said. I needed to get something out to the fans. I wanted them to see that I was grieving. Did you hear him say it? Because that was probably the most honest thing he just said. I wanted my fans to see I was grieving. I wanted them to see it. Why did they need to see it? Think on that one.
So what did you know in that first video?
I mean, at that time, I think we just knew that, people passed. We didn't know how, that it was, the news, I think police came out and said something, you're just going off of what you're seeing in the news, you don't really know nothing. And then as the days go on, you start collecting a little bit more information.
Which was what? Would have been a good follow-up question because he still doesn't know what happened. Yet he knew people passed, but not more information at that point.
They said there was like chaos and trampling being reported since the early afternoon.
Yes.
Like hours before the show even started. Were you
Correct.
informed of any of that ahead of time?
Well, no. The police, he came and to my trailer and he congratulated me on, the event and, having something like this in Houston. He let me know that it was mishap at the merch booth earlier. They shut it down, but they opened it back up. They seemed to got it under control. He was gonna step out and just let us know if we need anything, have a good show.
Now, I don't disagree. I don't that could all be very true. Police didn't give him any warning, and they did have a problem at the merch booth, and they told him they took care of it, and now it's back up. In which case, again, the people doing the investigation, the police, I think they dropped the ball too. I've said that in the video, so everyone who thinks I'm only pointing at Travis, that's just a lie. It's a complete lie. Travis is equally responsible because he put the team there, and he absolutely. And again, if he's not responsible, he needs to be calling every single one of them out and demanding that they be fired because they all screwed up. That's how I do it. So let's see if he does it. Still got 40 minutes. Oh, Jesus.
That was it.
You know, a lot of the criticism, you know, from the tragedy, they say, is in the poor planning and understaffing of the event. As an artist, do you have any involvement in any of that?
Well, I mean, we just, as an artist, you just do the creative. And for this being my festival, you know, I got, you know, bring artists, you know, creatively produce it. And, you know, we just trust in the, you know, the professionals to kind of just make sure that, you know, people, you know, are taken care of and, you know, leaving safely. You know, I just can control what I can on the stage, and then, you know, you have the professionals control what they can in the crowd, you know. It's just hard because as an artist, you know, you want to have like the best shows and you want to have the best experiences, and you know, you link with professionals to handle that side of it, you know, and then, you know, you want to know what's going on. I think that's what we got to figure out, you know, and figure out what happened there, how it happened, you know.
So the professionals, again, he mentions the professionals a lot. That's one of many talking points I feel like he was given before this interview. That's just my 2 cents in my PR and talent relation experience, marketing experience, PR experience, worked for PR firms. That he keeps mentioning, when you see someone repeat things over and over again, like the professionals, that's something that I feel like he must have been told up prior. Let's blame the professionals, but not get specific, because we still need to work with all these people, and we don't want them coming after us too. That's the vibe I'm getting here, because he wants to call it the professionals, but then he doesn't really want to call it the professionals.
You spoke on the Houston police chief. His name is Troy Finner. He came to you, and he said he voiced concerns over the crowd energy. So what did you and your team like do with that information? What you got?
Well, I think that's what the media. I think that's what the media said, but I think it read to more so that he wanted us to. He knew that our crowd was, you know, the type of crowd that comes. It comes at a heavy crowd. So to communicate with him if we were doing anything outside of the week's itinerary, you know. That week we were doing like a lot of charity stuff prior to the festival. So
why is that relevant? That week we'd been doing a lot of charity stuff before the festival. Oh, okay. What's that to do with the question? The question again was that the officer came and told you that he was worried about the crowd's energy. And Travis's response is, well, you know, yeah, you know, there's a lot of people there, but he just wanted to make sure we stuck to the itinerary, you know. There was a lot of charity stuff before, you know. The fuck answer is that?
So, you know, there's security at most of the events, but, you know, he was just letting us, you know, I guess in that statement, he was just saying if we do anything outside of what we had on our itinerary to let them know.
That's not what the statement was, but okay. You want to spin it there, where more spin.
But, you know, we didn't even get to that point.
You know, it's crazy, just, you know, being here kicking it with you for a little bit, like I can see that, you know, this is weighing real heavy on you.
Yeah.
So here's the moment where the friend pretty much acknowledged, yeah, we're friends. I've known you for a while. We've been kicking for a while. And I can tell, Travis, I can see that you're going through a lot, man. I feel so bad for you, man.
So how much do you feel a sense of responsibility for what happened that night?
This is the first time he answers, and he's going to answer it again, and I played it for the clip. Let's watch his first response.
Well, you know, fans come to the show and have a good experience, you know. And I have a responsibility to figure out what happened here. I have a responsibility to figure out the solution. And, you know, and I gotta, and hopefully this takes a first step into, you know, us as artists, you know, having that more insight of what's going on, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, the professionals to kind of, you know, surround and figure out more of an intel, whether it's tech, whether it's, you know, more of a response, whether it's whatever the problem is, you know, to figure out that in the future, moving forward in concert safety, make sure this never happen again, you know?
But let's talk about
He's talking to, so he goes and does such a general sort of catch-all because he's right. We got to make sure this doesn't happen again. But he took no responsibility. I'm responsible for figuring out why this happened, is what his answer was. Okay. If this happened on my watch, it's just hard to not connect. And what do you guys think? If this happened on your watch, would you not feel responsibility when it's your show? I don't get it. I would be so angry and livid with all my team that failed. And I would need to know, like, was there an act? What happened? How did this keep spiraling out of control? Why did no one tell me? And to me, it's hard to accept that there was like one thing that just was an accident that we should just learn from and fix and move on. This is a culture that's wrong. It's a whole business, a whole business, and everybody's getting money and losing money on this outcome. That they're all uniting together to just sort of talk about, well, we got to figure out how this doesn't happen again. See, Astroworld the next year will be, you know, we have exits now, so it'll never happen. We're all good now. I'm sorry. We too many deaths. There's more that needs to happen here, and these people need to be paid for. Like, you know, you take care of them, and you're going to have to pay, and the insurance is going to have to pay. Live Nation has to. Someone needs to. Heads need to roll here. This is just a little simple accident. This is a lot of people were irresponsible and weren't paying attention, and there was no protocol. There were apparent protocols that were all just ignored. And sorry, Travis, that's on you. This is your show. Now, maybe you are telling some of this truth, but everything you tell us doesn't help us believe it. At least me, someone who just
I could care less
about your music, about your shows, whatever. But I'm just saying, as a person and a human being, dude, yes, you're responsible. You were there. It was happening while you were performing, and your team messed up. A good boss, CEO, a president, they would own it. This happened on my watch. Now, I understand why he doesn't want to do that legally, because it's going to put him on the hook. But Jesus, dude, of course you're responsible. And to Sansa and all these people who keep saying he's not responsible, this is just such a scary place we are in our culture and our community that we don't think he's responsible in any way. That's just horseshit.
those professionals. Like, how much responsibility do you think, like, Live Nation and Score, the promoters, have in all of this?
I mean, you know, they do their job of, you know, setting these things up. So, I mean, I think, you know, they when we dial into what, you know, specifically happened here, I feel like, you know, even they can kind of help, you know, figure out what happened in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So Live Nation is not responsible. They'll figure out what happened. Oh, cool. I trust them. The company that's already been sued countless times, Travis, and covered this shit up, paid settlements. This corporation, this billions-dollar faceless corporation, they'll help figure it out, guys. Live Nation, who owns all the venues, has a monopoly on all sort of concerts. You can't badmouth them, right? Because then you're not going to be able to ever go on tour again, because they'll probably last through this. You may not. So you gotta help them right now to potentially get through all this, huh? Yeah, but there's no cover-up. There's no cover-up here. Travis Scott's saying, you know, guys, Live Nation will help us sort this out. Like, stupid! No, I don't trust them at all. I don't want them to have anything to do with the sorting this out. We need to tell them what to do in the future. And some people there need to be fired, so there's actual accountability and fear that these big corporations realize, oh shit, we can't keep getting away with everything, can we? But no, Travis Scott's going to let Live Nation sort it out.
You know, but at the end of the day, I think collectively, everyone needs to just figure out the bottom line solution. But, you know, especially in concert safety, you know, definitely got to have, you know, make sure that, you know, these things are, you know, done right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't wait to have the Travis Scott guidelines of safety that all Live Nation concerts go by, you know? Don't you guys trust going to a concert now knowing that Travis Scott and Live Nation have just joined powers to make sure that we're all safe, you know? You know?
You think these festivals are too big, man? 50,000 people is a lot of people for anybody to control.
Yeah, but there are festivals that are bigger.
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Good deflection there, right? So yes is the answer.
Way bigger. And, you know, I just think it's not about the maximum of it. I think it's about the attention to what's going on and how it's going on. And as long as that's handled, I feel like, you know, things can be, you know, can go okay, will be okay, you know. But
so who wasn't paying attention then, Travis? Who wasn't paying attention? Those Charlemagne. You can't push a guy like Travis because you know he's going to answer and flub everything. Well, you say that, Travis. So then who wasn't paying attention?
If you look at it through the history of festivals, you know, this isn't the first time happening. There's been a long history of this, you know. So
now
I
we're
feel like if you look at the overall, you know, view of that, and you kind of like dial in, okay, what could we do better to fix this overall for general concert safety? I think we figure out the problem, you know, and make it better for people to have better live experiences.
Live Nation reportedly agreed to end the concert early after the Houston PD and the fire department declared it a mass casualty event, but the concert continued for another 40 minutes. Was there ever any communication to you on stage that you should end this?
Well, yeah, I mean, they just told me right after, you know, the guests get off stage, you know, we're going to end the show, you know, and that's what we did.
He didn't find out until minutes after the press conference, but then he's just said, well, they didn't tell us till after the guests got off stage that we're ending the show. So when the show was over?
No, other than that, there was no other communication. You know?
Oh, so you mean after the guests? What you mean?
Yeah, after the guest comes out,
okay,
we're gonna end the show. But it wasn't a communication on why. You know, it was just, you know, that's what came through my ears. You know.
Oh, so they didn't say stop now?
No.
Oh, got you.
No.
Wow.
Charlemagne, you suck. I'm sorry. How did you not ask more follow-up on that? Do you have any effing clue what Travis just said? Not when the guests came out is when the stuff. Drake, you didn't end the show until it was over. After the guests go out, we'll end the show. Was that early? Did they end it early? Charlemagne, how the hell did you let that go through? That was awful interviewing. And then you, so they didn't tell you to stop the show. You just answered it for him. The hell kind of interviewer is this?
Do you feel like people are forcing more responsibility on you because you are the front man, because it was Astroworld?
Duh! Of course! And because he's responsible because it's his show.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm the face of the festival.
Thank you.
I'm an artist, you know. So yeah, you know, the media is, you know, they want to, you know, put it on me. But at the end of the day, it's like, I don't think it's more so about that. I think it's more so about stepping up to figure out what the problem is. And I could take that. I could take, you know, stepping up to figure out what the problem is. I could take stepping into figuring out the solution that never happened again. Because that's what I generally want to do in general, even just for my community, you know.
He could take that, guys. That's something he can accept, is the idea of him taking responsibility and figuring out what happened, which means someone's going to tell him. He can handle that, guys. That's all he can handle. Cool.
The whole idea for why I brought this festival to the city was to, you know, show that Houston is something different. You know, and show that there's all different types of lives, there's all different type of energy, and just bring that morale to the city, and just bring that energy to the city. So I definitely want to, you know, step in to figure out, you know, how could we fix this in the future? What can we do to, you know, change these things, you know?
Do you feel like you did everything you possibly could to help in that situation?
Yes. Yes. Anything I physically can, for sure, yes. You know, and it.
What is with this lighting too? My God, who the hell was in charge of this thing? Got Travis Scott? Did they give you 2 minutes notice? The fuck is this lighting? Let's put an open window to like make him on his shadows.
And it just, you know, if knowing, you know, what's going on, you know, you would just wish, if you, you know, could have done something better, or, you know, but standing there, 1000%.
You know, we know that the families of the people who passed are definitely watching this right now. And you know, there's nothing you could say to heal the trauma these families who lost loved ones are going through. But being that you know they're watching, what would you say to them directly?
I'll say to them that I'm always here, and that I'm in this with you guys, and I love you, and I'll always be there to help you guys heal through this. And I understand that they're going through, they're grieving right now and they're finding understanding right now, and it's not just like a right now thing; it's a forever thing.
Yeah, that's true.
And these people that came to the show, they are my family. And
I'm sorry I let you down. I'm sorry my crew let you down. I'm sorry we failed you. I have to make sure this never happens again. That's what they want to hear, sir. It's quite easy, but you can't say that because then you'll pay a lot of money and go to jail. Hence the spin. It's so easy to say, I failed you. I can't sleep. I can't even imagine what you're going through. We should have been better. And I'm doing everything in my power to find out why we didn't. I had no idea it was happening, but I feel it and I don't know what to do. And I'm just, that's what you'd say, you idiot. You're talking to the family saying you're there. No, you're not there for them. You're not taking any responsibility. It's your show, whether you like it or not. Now, does that mean you have to go to jail forever? No. But take some damn responsibility, you idiots.
I've always had that connection to the people I feel like that listen to the music or came to my shows. And that's why I really, it's really hard on me even just,
It's really hard on him,
to even man, even because they end up they lost their loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough.
Yeah.
And, I just want to always just be there for them and just always just be able to just know that I'm going to fix this for the future people, and fix this solution, and fix this problem. And find a solution to making sure that this doesn't happen in the future, and definitely be a #1 voice for this,
Do you think that's what the families want to hear? Do you think that's giving them comfort right now? Audience, I'm asking you. I mean, I do believe it's hard on him. I don't want to be this harsh, or I don't believe he's not having some. But it's just I just don't buy any of this. I don't feel any heartfelt anything here. He has he shouldn't even be speaking to these families. He's just not ready yet. He doesn't understand it. But here they are giving him a platform. Charlemagne the God out there giving him a platform. The media's spinning this for him so he can continue to have a platform because that's what we fucking do. Celebrities can do no wrong, it seems. If you're making money, or if you're going to affect someone else's bottom line and they're going to lose money, then they'll back you up. I'm sure if Live Nation, everybody could throw Travis Scott under the bus, they would do it in a heartbeat. I'm sure everybody would have canceled him if it was easy. But there's the Kardashian hookups, there's the Live Nation he's got a lot of people behind the scenes pulling strings to make sure this doesn't go the way that some celebrities might get burned for. But
because that, I feel like that's like one of the what we got to figure out. Because other than that, it's like the show goes on tomorrow, or something goes. How does this get fixed?
This could happen again. It's happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, no, that's why we don't want any more Astroworlds for ever. They're going to plan the next one though. Get ready.
You're a father, God forbid when your kids are of age, if they're in a situation like this, I want you to put yourself in those parents' shoes right now. What would you want to see come of this situation if you?
That's the question we've all been dying to know.
I want to see people put their heads together. I want to see people really figure this out.
You know?
Not take this lightly, you know? And really act on it. And that's, you know, that's one of the main things that's important. I feel like they gotta just act on it. It can't just be like something that happens and it just roll over. It gotta be something that's taken serious and addressed seriously. And things formed around it, time and a lot of time and a lot of, you know, thinking power spent on this, you know, and really fixing, you know, whatever system.
He's had a month, and he's given us none of that. None of that. He knows exactly what happened. I believe that wholeheartedly. He and his team know exactly what they're up against. They know the cases. They know the crowd control issues. They know who designed it. They know who's more at fault. Dude, he's got expensive lawyers, and they know exactly what's happened. It's clear cut. Now, the investigation is a little harder for the cops and everybody else just because they're trying to figure out, well, who knew what, when, what. They're trying to figure that all out, too. I do believe the cops can't figure that. But Travis Scott and his teams, they know what went down. They know where they fucked up.
It just needs to be fixed, you know?
From the lawsuits to the media coverage, do you feel like you're personally under attack?
Do you feel like you're personally under attack? That's the question. You know, Sansa, what a good interview. What a good, hard-hitting interview. Travis, are you under attack?
I mean,
I get, because media training coached him on this answer, by the way. Don't play the victim. You can't play the victim. If you catch yourself, always go back and talk about the victims. Don't play the victim. But
I mean, yeah, you see a name in it and shit, and it's like, but you know,
he's struggling. So, I'm a victim. I can't say, but yeah, the media sucks. But can I scream at the media? Yeah, I didn't do shit. You know, I'm sure the real Travis Scott wants to be like, I don't know what the fuck. Leave me alone. Blah, blah, blah. You know, like, but the reality is he's playing both sides here. He's like, he's. Yes. They're totally pointing the fingers at me. It's unfair. They're attacking me. But
at the end of the day, you step in these, you know, you step and you want to do a festival, and you know, when you want to do things and you want to build up, you know, it comes with certain things, right? So I think it's all about how you respond to it, and I think it's all about how you react, right? So I could feel that way, but I think more so about, it's more about how I feel about the response that I care about more so, which is, you know, actually, you know, trying to step in and, you know, really step up to really fixing what's happening and really step up for the safety of concert goers or people in just live spaces.
So went back to the talking point. Did you notice that? Went back to the talking point. We have to figure it out. That's the talking point that was ingrained in his head before this interview even started.
I wonder, is there a way to even prepare for this? Because nobody, like you said, when you're doing the planning for a show like this, nobody is planning for this to happen. So how do you even prepare for something like this to happen?
I don't know, and I feel like when it comes out a little bit more how this could have happened, I feel like that's how we can kind of attack that. But even I was thinking in ways like tech solutions. You know, people come into these festivals with these bands that only scan you in, right? You have all type of tech now that can track your heart, can track your, you know, oxygen levels, can track if you're gonna be sick.
Oh, so we're all gonna put on tracking devices now at Travis Scott shows to check our heart levels and our blood. Who wants to give Travis Scott your blood and heart levels? First of all, Travis Scott, you're lying. You encourage. We always let the wild ones in. Any good interviewer would have followed up and said, "Well, Travis, you didn't help the crowd control because you encouraged people to sneak into your show, and then it's overcrowded." That's Travis's responsibility, Sansa, everybody who's defending him. He's the one who encourages people to break down those barriers and get into the concert. Yeah, we always let the wild ones in. That was a tweet he's put out, guys. He wants people to get in. He wants it overcrowded. But okay, let's give him wristbands.
You can put things now if you're gonna be, get lost. There's all type of ways now. I feel like that can be the band that only gets you access to entry or to a food line or to food trucks can now be solvable to helping save lives.
Oh my God.
Can now be more of a response to people that are now on site and on ground.
Dude, did this? If you didn't think this man was out of touch with reality, he's literally pitching this idea of everyone having an iWatch on when they get in as part of their ticket. Like, he just thinks that's like, yeah, just put an iWatch. We'll get everyone iWatches as part of their check-in device. And then we'll monitor their body and where they go and their heart levels. Hey, it's going to be for the safety. The Travis Scott safety plan, next year's Astroworld. Everyone's going to have to pay and buy a iWatch that will track all your data, and we'll sell it. But, it'll be more safe because we'll be able to track you in the crowd as you're dying. Cool. Good interview, right, Sansa? Oh, yeah, this guy's real brilliant.
I feel like that could be a way. Or,
that'll
even
solve
just figuring out what the exact solution, what the exact problem of it was. And dialing more into that, I think you can kind of
dialing more into what the exact solution of what we figure out, but then also giving them, new bands to check out the hot monitors. Yeah, okay.
There's a way.
There's a way.
I just think it needs to be time spent on figuring that out.
Yeah. How did he not just laugh in his face? Yeah. Good answer.
Have you been able to have any personal conversations with any of the families who lost loved ones?
I was able to, but. I just want to just respect that, the privacy of the conversation, and I'm thankful for them for even allowing me to have the conversation. So, yeah.
How did you feel when?
So he did talk to some family members.
Some of the families rejected your offer to pay for the funerals.
All things are understandable, and at a time they're grieving and they're trying to find understanding, and they want answers, and. It's not about that, I'm always gonna be here, to want to help them. You know what I'm saying? And
I just want to unbutton that jacket for him so bad because he keeps trying to pull his. Just dude, unbutton it, you weirdo. Why is there one button on?
It's not gonna I gotta continue to just show up for that. I just wanted to make sure that they knew that I was there for them. And continue to be there for them. I think that's just more so what it's about for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people say your music played a role in this.
Oh, here we go.
I've seen them, cite lyrics, that encourage this kind of behavior. I've seen them say your music is demonic and this was a satanic ritual. Do you think your music is to blame?
No.
No. I'm going to say it for him. No. It's stupid. That's not why, but it doesn't help.
Oh, I'm a man of God.
He's a man of God. There you go. He's not demonic, okay? Man of God can't be demonic. Priests are never evil or demonic, right?
So that's the first thing first. And, so it's just...
It's a man of God. He makes some real weird thematic choices at his shows.
Yeah, that's that. And...
That's that.
Your music is just like self-expression, you know what I'm saying? And at these shows, I feel like people kind of look at things, and if you've been to a Travis show, it's been different layers of shows,
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad I've never been to Travis shows. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. Can we just tell all you guys who haven't had to go to a Travis show and deal with this egomaniac's artistry? Oh, praise hallelujah to Jesus. I can't even imagine the ego on these shows and just, thank God. Anyway.
I think people are just, misconceptions and taking things they're seeing and, all type of...
Yeah, the swirling hall to hell. Yeah, we're just seeing things. Cool.
Things, and I've took pride in trying to, grow from where I was when I first recorded music to now where I'm going in music. So yeah, I just think people gotta, and that's one thing with me is just people gotta kind of experience it sometimes. And I think that's what it was. People were kind of like, even before, people were hearing about it, they come and experience it and taking away their own thing. And it's always going to be an outside opinion. But, for the ones that, really believe in me and, understand what I'm about and what I'm doing, no, that's not what I'm preaching. I always preach like love, always preach understanding, always preach,
Unless you steal my shoe.
Take care of your loved ones, love each other, you know what I'm saying? Get out your ideas, never let yourselves be stopped,
He's God, interviewed by the God. Praise them, Cecilia. I see that.
Love one another.
I'll get to your comments. Please keep supporting the show. I'm just trying to get through the interview, but I saw a lot of it. In fact, let's take a quick break. Nessa, 29, thank you so much helping us, because this video is already demonetized because I'm calling out the powers that be. So thanks to everybody who steps up and supports as our little ad break here. We've been streaming already for a couple hours, so thank you for acknowledging the entertainment and, buying like a two drink minimum. Every 45 minutes or so, I try to at least take a break to remind you all. Thank you for the support. And thanks to all these people who did support. Nessa, thank you so much. This interview is complete garbage. We ain't buying it. For him to say it's been hard for him, what about the victims' families? Vicky Love is back. We get better apologies from people who offend a group of people over people literally dying. True testament to the new world we live in. Jax, thank you for the tip. If you could ask Charlemagne one question, Ari, this interview, and his questions direct to Travis, what would it be? Why were you so soft? Why? I mean, I guess the answer is because he's my friend. He's not going to answer it honestly, but I mean, I kind of know the answer to it. So there's really nothing Charlemagne's going to give me, honestly, I feel like, because that's clearly what the reason was. He was helping his friend out. Nicole Young, hello, Andy, and fellow Planeteers. As far as today goes, how can anyone feel or believe that they have no responsibility when one of their job titles is influencer? Yeah, sparkly heart. Is this happened to Kanye or Vicky Love? If this happened to Kanye or Trump, there would be nationwide investigation. I mean, yeah, true. Lilla, grieving yet went out to an after party at Dave & Buster's. Even if you didn't know everything, you wouldn't have heard. You would have heard of some occurrences from your team. Yeah, okay. Well, he did acknowledge that. He's like, well, afterwards we heard something, but not the extent. They didn't know the extent until the press conference is what he's saying. But yeah, he heard something off stage. That's why they ended the show. But then he went off to Dave & Buster's and didn't ask for more information, which I've always said, again, shows his lack of empathy and his responsibility. Dude is told, yeah, we got to stop the show. And Mr. Artist isn't like, what happened? Is everyone okay? My fans are my family. Are my fans okay? Nah, I don't know. Just hurry up and get off stage and go to Dave & Buster's. Okay. It doesn't make any sense. Sansa and others, it doesn't make any sense. Step back from your fandom. I'm free to be me. For someone who is a rapper, he clearly has no vocabulary. Smell a ghostwriter. Another fake pushed career. Facts. I'm sure a lot of people are helping him write those reports. If Donald Trump got in trouble, Travis Scott should get in trouble too, I don't understand what the correlation. Because of the instance, right? Yeah, I don't even go there. Lauren Elizabeth, thank you. Did Trump get in trouble? is the answer there. Earthling Annie, I love how you call people out and give them credit when it's due. This is true and honest coverage. Just keep going. Thank you so much. Unless you're Travis Scott, you know.
I could care less.
Happy caffeinated couple. He contributed the energy to this in so many ways, starting with telling people to ignore the entrance barriers. Thank you. You're right. To rush them and break them all at the start of the concert. Well said, happy caffeinated couple. Thanks for funding the show today. Gabby, NR for you. It's so, I feel like I'm dumber watching this. I'm going to say now because I'm like hearing it so much that I'm just going to not even realize it. So, if I say it, I didn't mean it, Sansa Stark, we don't know how he reacted. This is an interview. Okay, well, dude, Sansa, please call in afterwards. Will you call in once I get through all this? If you want to, I'd love to have a civil conversation with you. Because if anybody disagrees with me on this and thinks I'm being hard, yeah, let's do it at the end of the show. Andy did, yeah, but he wants rage and the fans' blood. Exactly. But he wants love. No, we want love. I want love. Makes me think of Alien Mr. Burns from the Simpsons X-Files episode. Crystal, Andy, you're right. Coming from a journalist background, I prepared questions ahead of time and asked what made sense with the back and forth. Reading off a sheet, Scott's people gave him that list. Thank you for verifying, Crystal. That's a telling thing there. I mean, sometimes I'll have organized stuff, but yeah, he has like clear questions that were prepared. Salamandro, thank you. And then I am free to me. Oh yeah, we were talking about Momager Chris being involved in that. She's brilliant, honestly. Momager Chris will fix it. She's brilliant, honestly, but that's what makes her dangerous. The interview is a classic PR 101 stunt. It's forced. Mafe Martinez, pretty sure Kris Jenner got the Hulu doc pulled. Hulu is some of the new Kardashian shows. I saw that earlier and I wanted to mention that. Mafi, you are spot on. Hulu did a documentary about this, guys. They did and it was just a replay of like an ABC News event or something that they had just made for TV. But then Hulu put it on the Hulu as like a new Astroworld. It seemed like a documentary, which it wasn't. And then people got pissed, which I didn't understand why. Who cares? It's just the news recapping it. And then it got pulled. But I bet you Jenner pulled it. You're right. Because they're on Hulu now, and I'm sure there was a call like, hey, can you not have that on there? Thanks. There's so much backlash. Amiza, thank you for that Super Chat sticker. Dark Blonde Watch. Thank you, Eddie, for being great and sticking to the truth. You got it, Dark Blonde Watch. Nessa29, you were spot on. It blows my mind that actually people think he has no responsibility. And there we go. I think I'm caught up. So there we go. And then up in the top, as I was going, Nicole Young, I'm a man of God and music is self-expression, so I'm going to talk about raging in blood and call people pussies and tell them to beat someone else because I'm such a man of God. Said to no believable, sane person ever. Nicole, you're right on. Joey, what's up, Joey? And I just wanted to, say, you were doing a, great job, and, this was painful to type, Thank you, Joey, for that commitment to the knows. Pamela Bruns, definitely need a pick-me-up today. Thanks for always helping us get through the day. Thanks for all you do. Pamela, we love you. Get back up. You got the shirt before me. Mine's coming, but I'm still so grateful for you, so thank you for everything. Heather, whatever, thank you again, and there we go. All right. We caught through it all. Thank you for that quick pause. Quick update as we go through, all the support. Let's get back to the interview. Real quick, though, just to remind you all, pinned is my link tree. We have a really good deal on our merch, and Pamela just reminded me to warn you guys all. Thanks to No System Knows, you can go to our site, and they have a whole deal of discounts every day. There's a new deal. Make it make sense! Is just up there, as well as Get Back Up, Keep Going, and lots of other fun stuff. You can get our logos, our Popcorn Planet stuff, Freed Britney, the VHS shirt I'm wearing right now, stickers, pins, the hat. I think we did finally. I think they were going to make some new hats. It's back ordered. They're just expensive because we got to custom print them, so just be aware. And the hats sort of help us pay for the other stuff too. So yeah. A lot of stuff you can get if you want to support good deals, and thanks to there. While you're also on there, you could donate. Stream Elements, it's also pinned. That's how you get the comments over. It helps support. Cash App, use my code FLLXGHD when you sign up if you don't have Cash App, and that way you just send me pure cash. Thanks so much, and YouTube doesn't have to take our cuts. You can donate as just PayPal, and you can also join, subscribe, also join our Telegram, chat with us in that community, as well as subscribe to my second channels, Patreon is another thing I have, and Twitter, Instagram, it's all there, Discord, TikTok, whatever. So thank you for letting me plug all that stuff. All right, let's get back to the show, shall we? We still got about, 20 more minutes.
Then step into that,
I think that's a part of it, but the music does encourage people to be violent at these shows.
There you go.
That's what the rage is about.
Most of the music is me sometimes talking about what I see at the shows. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If I'm talking about the shows, and so.
You mean the guys who want to jump from the railings because you're encouraging them to? Is that what you meant, Travis?
That's just the energy. You know what I'm saying? But the energy isn't to come and start, being ultra violent and just being violent and hurting each other. That's not what it's about.
That's not what happened at the show, Travis. You're still so dense to it all. This was a crowd management problem because it was overpopulated, which you encouraged. And there was a high energy of people going crazy, which you encouraged. All that shit's on your watch, dude. Stop trying to not take any accountability.
So it's more so supposed to be entertainment.
Yeah, it's everything is, and it's about what you experience at the shows and what you see,
Will this change the content of your music moving forward, you think?
What happened here wasn't off Travis Scott music. Mm-hmm. That wasn't, oh, now you need to switch up No, I mean, I've made all different type of music in the first place, you know? I've never was just like one lane or one genre of anything in the first place. So I just think it's all about experiences, and I feel like, you know, it could be music to come out of it. Lyricism, just emotion. You know, music is emotion. You know, and music is healing. And you know, you can just find healing and find emotion, you know, in that, you know, and just more progressive. You know, everything I'm trying to do is just more progressive.
So we have Steph and Lewis, which I'm so happy to have back. But, you know, violent, you know, the energy, you know, of Travis's rage culture, you know, could, doesn't that, you know, create some violence, you know? Do you think Travis's response there answered the, you know, question, you know?
You know. That is literally the soundtrack that's been going through my head since I've basically been lurking at the beginning of this stream. It's just you know. That's all you need to know. You know. This is
but come on, Steph, the music will heal the victims of Astroworld, you know? His music. Lewis, you know, his music. You know, don't you think his music will heal the families? Oh, you're
Lewis, you're on mute, mate.
Both of these guys are morons. Look at the way that interviewer is conducting that freaking interview, right? He's slouching, you know, with his balls hanging forward. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's like driving a lowrider, you know, and he's acting like people died here, dude. Take the freaking interview seriously.
Get a real
Sit
chair.
up. I'm sitting up right here, right now.
Seriously.
And I'm not even talking to that many people.
Well said.
This Travis Scott guy talks about music. What does he know about music, man? He's a talentless, created hack. We need to stop actually rewarding these people. Just because it's played on the radio doesn't mean it's good. People, I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Go look for other artists. If you like hip hop, there's plenty of underground hip hop that gets no attention because you know it's not chosen to succeed. There's a lot of really talented hip hop artists if you're into hip hop. Most hip hop artists are articulate. They have their vocabulary is more than you know. So look for that. Let's start rewarding talent and look out for other people to give other people a chance instead of the same people over and over again. Travis Scott knows nothing about music. He doesn't know anything about hip hop. He's dumb. I don't know what the point of this thing is. And the dude does. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, we gotta start making fun of people who follow him.
Yeah, you know, Lewis. You know.
By the way, throw those heads up in the air, please,
Lewis,
just to make me feel better because I'm still under the weather.
So throw the heads up because we love Lewis. Hashtag or Cash App $, Nerd Report. Cash App Steph Alternerd to support my friends. But Haley, bravo! Haley Taylor has said they are actually keeping a count. What's your guess, Steph, so far?
Oh, bloody hell. I've lost count.
What's your guess?
98.
Lewis, what's your guess?
350.
257 so far.
Oh.
Bloody hell.
I'm trusting you, Haley. My God, if you're really doing that work, bravo to you, because I couldn't do it. I wanted to do like a supercut where I get all the knows stitched together, but I was like, I can't. I would die. But oh my God! All right, we'll keep checking back with you, Haley, on the counts. So we're at 257. Holy shit! All right,
Travis Scott thinks he's cool. His followers think he's cool. It's time he's not cool. We all know that. It's time we start making fun of him and his followers so they know they're not cool. I'm sorry. It may sound stupid, but people think this guy's cool. That's what Ragers. Nah, dude, that's dumb. It's stupid. It's dumb, okay? Make fun of these people all day, all night. You have my permission. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but that's why people think this kind of behavior is cool. It's not. It's bottom of the barrel, lazy nonsense, Yeah,
I know.
You said you're a man of God, and when I even said that, they say your music is satanic, I saw the face that you made. Where do you think that even comes from?
leading the witness with, "Hey, I'm going to help you get out of this because I know you're not satanic." So, I know you're not satanic. So, why do you think? Where do you think that comes from?
Travis Scott is satanic. Travis Scott is
I just
demonic.
think it's just things people collect. You know, people look at the internet and they just collect and they look at things and they look at visuals and we have all these theorists and people just thinking they're looking at visuals and don't understand, just the idea of like what art may be or what you're trying to do.
This is the most animated he's gotten throughout the whole thing. The most upset I've seen him. Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad or panel. The first time I see him coming alive is when he's challenging that he's not demonic.
They're just making up your own message, especially when you're not out there like yelling the message all the time. It's just, yeah.
And when they say this is a community event, Astroworld.
Yeah,
so they say a community event is a satanic ritual. How does that?
Yeah, that's
make
like
you feel?
it's.
Yeah, they're basically saying the whole Austin, everybody in your community is satanic. Come on, Travis.
He's trying to be edgy by putting the satanic thing. That stuff was big in the 80s, bro.
Absolutely.
Like, get out of here.
It's a
He's trying to sell
marketing trick.
tickets with it. Yeah.
It's crazy because it's like
it's crazy. You literally have a spiraling circle of fire into your hell set. Oh, but it's crazy that anyone would see any demonic themes in your shows. Oh, crazy.
I do this for people to have a good time. We have rides, we have games. It's things for people to get off creative experiences. It's not the show.
That would have been a good question. So, do you think your show's meant for kids? Do you think kids should have been at your show? I would have loved that question, actually. Why didn't
but
you
look
ask
who's asking the questions.
Exactly. He was not going to ask those questions, but right then. So you have rides at the show, Travis. Do you think a concert like this, the late night, the crowd sizes, the rage, do you think it's a good place for children? Can you imagine? Travis would be like,
It was at the end of the day, it's like, and that show is just something based on what's, just things, it's not like, what? Like, why would we wake up one day and just trying to, that's just evil. That's not what we're a part of. We're not trying to be a part of that. We're trying to be a part of joy. We're trying to be a part of light. We're trying to be a part of full-blown happiness, love,
Unless you steal my shoes.
Understand.
Yeah, you can't experience joy at the expense of other human beings. There's actually people that get joy out of making other people suffer. So yeah, that's unacceptable.
Taking care of each other. Community, people to leave from these experiences and want to go out and do good. That's literally what we want. We want to show them these things. We put everything into this festival. This is our third year. So we try to.
This whole pitch of like we're making a whole audience of people who care and want to do good is like his same pitch of like we're going to give people eye watches to check their blood pressure when they come in. Like he has these big, stupid, unrealistic ideas, and a lot of stupid celebrity rich people. This happens a lot where they have these grandiose, like impossible, unattainable concepts of things. And so that's what he's doing because he doesn't have people around him that tell him no, that actually, tell him.
Oh, it's wearing off on
exactly.
you, bro.
But it's scary because it's a celebrity thing. Steph Lewis, do you see that? The fact that he's saying so much, as I said earlier, it's telling because it's
something real quick.
He's around
Steph.
People that only encourage him, right? That's what I was.
Yeah. Let me just say something before Steph. Sorry, Steph, but unfortunately, there's almost 100,000 views on that video. Don't think twice. A lot of those people are watching this interview, listening to him going, yeah, he's right. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's a victim. There's people doing that right now. And we gotta point at those people and laugh at them and get them out of society because these people think it's cool. 100%. And I'm going to ask Andy and Stefania, do you think there's people agreeing with him right now that are like, oh yeah, he's making a lot.
Sansa does.
I do.
Yeah.
Who is
Really?
it? Yeah. There's see, he's a victim. He really wanted
Oh
peace,
yeah. Oh,
love.
look at the comments. Look at the comments here. I mean, there's a ton of people that are that were
all those
supporting
people need to be. I'm saying right now, Nerd Lecca, Louis Lecca, whatever the hell you want to call me, Andy's Mexican sidekick. I don't give a crap. I encourage everybody to make fun of these people, get them out of here. This is what's making money for these guys and supposed artists, and they continue to come up. He's just one of them. There's more.
There was comments on this. There was I'm trying to find the comments on the video. Plus, by the way, it did go limited. We caught it live, but there were comments on my video where they're like, "Andy, you're being unfair. You clearly just hate Travis Scott."
You can't.
Yeah, we do. I hate him. I hate Travis Scott. Hey, everybody, right there in the comments, I hate him for what he did. Okay, I don't care. I don't care about being called names at this point. Screw this
so
guy.
in our
Screw the
community-
company too.
In
Sorry,
our community, it's obviously rare. Like our community does not like him. It's because they're looking at the reality of it all. But no, if you go into his circles, like his echo chambers, absolutely there are fans. And we had Sansa. I don't mean to keep calling out, but told me I was being crazy. There's no proof of it. He didn't do anything. There are absolutely people who say this was a good interview.
The fact he didn't do anything. That's the whole point. Hello.
So, sorry, Steph. Did you want to say something before I keep going?
Yeah, so yeah, I've been lurking literally since the beginning of your stream, mate. And in regards to the limited situation, I noticed it about 10 minutes in. And putting the request for requesting the review on that. So to me, it just kind of going on what we were discussing yesterday in a way. YouTube, powerful interests want to protect certain people and certain powerful, famous people that make them money. And YouTube, by all accounts, I mean, literally like only a few minutes in, guys, and this stream got limited. It got smacked the hell down. So everyone that's watching, there's 1,500 of you right now, only 900 likes. Let's get it up to 1,000. Let's get this video out as well. Let's get the word out, because a lot of the press, and I've seen it as I've been watching, it's been, oh, you know, Travis Scott this, Travis Scott that, but they've been really, really soft on him and really, really kind and fluffy to him. But that's not right. At the end of the day, he is responsible. Not fully, because there's other entities as well. He's partially responsible, and he needs to have his feet to fire. So yeah, get the word out. Get this stream out. Let's get as many eyeballs on this as possible, because like Lewis said, there's so many people that have watched this video, Charlemagne the God's interview, and is like, yay, go Travis, this, that, and the other. But they need to be educated on what's really going on and why this is actually a load of BS. And there's not a lot of people that's telling the truth at the moment and telling it as it is and giving you the actual opinion of what the flick is going on.
I was just going to say, but it's not even about actual truth. It's just about, like, don't let Travis tell you what happened and then just believe it, because Travis has an incentive to let you forget about it. He doesn't want you to dig deeper to see his responsibility, because the reality is anybody in his shoes should be demanding accountability and calling out his own crew and the corporations for letting his fans lose their lives. Like, he has he has no care at, like, trying to actually point a finger at who's responsible. And I'm sorry, any artist or good human being that's the first thing they'd want to do is be like, I am livid that my team fucked up. I failed. My team fucked. Like, that's what someone would actually do. And just, sorry, Lewis, just real quick. Joshua here in the comments, your hate for Travis is making you unable to be objective. This was obviously a great interview, no matter what you think about Travis. And I was like, my hate, I don't even know the guy. You're clearly a fan.
That guy was persuaded by...
Look at the comments on the video. Many agree it was a good interview. He literally addresses all the criticisms. Like, now I 100% believe he didn't know the magnitude. Many people at the concert didn't even know what happened. And he's not the only one. There's multiple comments in this thread just to prove the point of believe it or buying this and think, yeah, you know, he didn't do anything wrong. So to answer that question, Steph, I'm trying to find, there were a few more as I was scrolling through. You're a fool. People exercising autonomy got too wild and killed other people. He encourages his fans at rage concerts, which at his core is just enthusiastic. It's a popular concept of hip hop, blah, blah. But again, this is wrong.
No, that's not hip hop.
This isn't what happened,
That's
Aaron.
not hip hop.
That is not hip hop.
It was crowd control. It was do more homework. Nobody is doing the homework. And so it's really
Hip-hop,
frustrating.
to me, a lot of the expression is what people think of you, the society thinks of the community of hip-hop. It's not, they're battling that, right? People think that people that are into hip-hop are violent and stuff like that. And hip-hop is there to prove them opposite. It's their life experience, form of expression, a positive form of expression. This guy falls into the stereotype that a lot of racists think about hip-hop and the community. He's the opposite of hip-hop. Now, look, we are less than 30 minutes into this interview. The guy said, 300 times by now, and there's people in your comments or whatever saying that was a good interview. Now, don't sit there and tell me that Travis Scott followers are not morons, okay? and that this music sucks.
Well,
Well, like anything this guy puts out.
I don't even want to call them morons necessarily. I mean, some of them
Idiots.
are, but they're just misguided.
I'll
They're
call him a
misguided.
moron.
I think they're misguided.
Misguided on what?
Misguided.
You know?
They're
He said
misguided.
300 times, bro.
But that's the problem. It's like we can call them all stupid, but that's like I just think that's it's too
This
extreme.
was a
in my
good.
opinion. They're
okay,
misguided
listen,
and they're
literally
they're misguided and they're obsessed
Yeah,
with celebrity.
misguided.
And they
Yeah.
they look up to we look up to celebrities way too much. There's a lot of sheep in the world, and I don't even mean disrespect, but I kind of do. In that. You guys got to open up your eyes. Now, our community says 93% say no, we don't believe it. There's still 7% who do. But in our community, we sort of keep it real, and I'm not even trying to keep an echo chamber here. I'd love some people, and if somebody
About 10
disagrees,
people died.
if
He's
somebody
in an
disagrees,
interview
call
right
in.
now. He said 300 times, and people think it was a good interview. I'll just leave it at that.
That's troubling. Yeah.
But this is the other thing that I wanted to say as well. Throughout this whole interview, it's all been about him. Defending him, him defending himself, him defending himself, him defending himself. How about the victims? How about more emphasis, more focus on the victims and the victims' family? Not only for the 10 people that unfortunately died at his bloody concert, but the hundreds more that were injured, where a big, massive proportion of them had to go to freaking hospital. There were what, 300
Good
that
point.
were treated at the scene, and what, 50, 60 that actually had to go to hospital. Like, it was a bloody mass casualty event, right? And how dare YouTube and how dare the powers that be, right, try and defend, try and protect, as far as I'm concerned, this piece of what's it, right, by limiting this video and limiting any other discussion against Travis Scott. Because at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, well, they're defending, they're protecting the rich and the powerful like Travis Scott. But what about the victims? What about the people that were actually hurt and actually killed, died at his freaking concert? There's no talk from him, no real talk, no real empathy. This is all damage freaking PR control, and it's only for his benefit. And it goes back to what I said right at the beginning, where I think it was like the day after or a couple of days after on his Instagram, where he turned around and he announced that he was going to put up the funds for the funerals of those that were killed at his concert, right? I said it there and then. PR freaking stunt. He ain't meaning it. He's doing it to save face, and that's it. Well, this is just proving it even more. Everything that he's doing is calculated. Everything that he's doing is calculated. And especially with Kris Jenner in his orbit, and especially with freaking Lou Taylor in the orbit for all, the freed Britney lot that understand what I'm saying there. This is all freaking calculated. And it's so freaking transparent. Now, the other thing, before I go back, just in response to yourself, Lewis, I respect your opinion and your freedom of choice to be able to express it and the freedom of choice with your words. Personally, I'm agreeing with Andy on this one. I wouldn't call those that are believing this idiots. I would just call them misguided. Because as you know yourself, there is a cult of celebrity going on where, those that are the hardcore will follow no matter what.
But they do think the people following this trash music think the music's cool. We gotta let them know it's not. Right? I mean, that's why. I mean, it's not cool to be a moron.
No, but I can say that his music is trash, right? That's absolutely fair enough. And I can tell someone who thinks his music is cool, his music is trash, what the hell? But if they continue to think that his music is cool, well, I'm not going to judge them for it.
Well, with Travis Scott, to me, is like saying the sky's not blue. His music is absolute trash, in my opinion. It's not an opinion for me. I think he's a created thing from the corporations to hurt our kids, aimed at our kids, aimed at kids who are looking for father figures. Maybe they look at Travis Scott as a figure to follow and stuff like that. And then he tries to hijack hip hop because he says it's with the rage. That's not part of. He's misguided, bro. Like rage. There's rage in hip hop.
We all agree
It's
he's
like
misguided.
KRS-One is raging against the powers that oppress. Public Enemy is raging against the power that oppress. This guy is raging against people who are having seizures, and heart attacks in his concert. Or taking his shoe. That's who he's raging.
But you also have to understand the demographic.
They prey on the dumbest people.
No, hang on a minute. No, because you're missing out potentially a side of this, an angle of this, which is his actual factual demographic of his fans. Now, in regards to this tragedy, until then, I only knew him as the dude that screwed Kylie Jenner and now has a couple of kids with her, right? I've never listened to his music. I didn't know him before then, right? Since this unfortunate tragedy, okay, think about it. Who have the victims been? They have been extremely young people. In some instances, unfortunately, bloody hell, children that don't have that life experience yet anyway to determine when they're listening to someone or when they're meeting for someone if they're actually a decent person or not. So you turning around and saying, Lewis, that all his fans, everyone that's believing him, are morons.
From this
that's
video,
your opinion. Yes. I completely respect that.
Yeah.
But there is a nuance to it that a lot of them that believe him are too young to understand anything else at this point. That they don't understand.
So they're too dumb to understand, right?
No, they're not too dumb.
Well, okay, so what's the difference?
When you were 15, 16 years old.
You were dumb.
Or younger.
You were a moron, right? That's a nice way to put it, is you weren't as smart. As you grew up.
Inexperienced.
And experience gives you what? Knowledge.
Because now you are clutching at straws.
No.
Because to me, you're calling them morons as like a derogatory
definition
term.
of moron is stupid person, okay? Now you're telling me that when you're 15, you're not as knowledgeable.
They're inexperienced.
And
you're using morons and stupid people, as far as I can tell, as an insult.
Well, yeah, because I'm trying to wake people up. If you treat this with the rainbow, this situation, it just increases. I get everyone's attention by using the word moron. Dumb.
So you're doing it for shock value.
Yeah, exactly. People are paying attention. They need to pay attention. And honestly, what you just said right now proves my point. People that are inexperienced are moron, stupid, not as smart. Okay. All right. So as you grow up, as you get older, you get more experience, you become more knowledgeable. Hence, you wouldn't go to such a concert.
What I love, I'm just trying to wrap this up, because what I love about Lewis is he holds.
I'm not talking to Steph anymore.
He does not change his opinion on it.
Oh, we've fallen out on air now. Oh,
Lewis
my goodness.
Leans in and he owns it.
I think it's time for me to do a drama video on you, Lewis. Yeah. Lay it all out. I'm going to do a Lewis Lecker Nerd Report exposed.
Put that egghead in there. Exactly.
Egghead, exactly.
Listen, I'm not challenging you to a boxing sport fight, because I actually think you'll take it. You're brave enough to do it.
Don't say anything else, because if someone makes a note, then we know they're obsessed. So just don't even say anything else.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Don't say anything else. All right, but there we go. Well said. Good debate. I hear both of you. I see what Lewis is saying there. Like he wants to be heard.
They are preying on the most vulnerable people of our society, ladies and gentlemen. We must fight back. If the word, I know maybe my word is harsh.
Don't back down.
Like
don't. You were holding your own. Keep it there. If you feel
no. I'm not going to back down. My word may be harsh to people, but they are morons to me, because
And no, Lewis will never be muted. We love different opinions, and I love
someone mute me?
I love when someone's like, Lewis needs to be muted. No, come on, you can disagree with Lewis, but we got to respect the other opinions.
You know what? My parents fought to come here from a place where they mute you. It's called Cuba. So go over there. They mute people. So you're in the wrong country if you like people's opinions muted. All right.
Yeah, we don't mute.
So don't come and enjoy this platform with the freedom of speech and then ask for other people to be muted, because there's plenty of other places where they'll mute you.
All right,
okay?
let's unmute. Let's on this Travis Scott. We're back in. Now, thanks for the distraction. Back into the. We have 20 minutes to get through. I promised to go through it. Let me try and get through it. Here we go.
Try to put, we every year we put everything into the festival so people can enjoy it. It's not about just come perform. It's things for them to do all day. And different artists for them to experience too.
Has the trauma of this tragedy impacted your desire to perform in the future?
I've always seen performances of art of healing for me. That's why I've always been so into it. I don't know if you looked at like some of the growth from where I've tried to take performance. I've always tried to, I feel like it's the art of healing. I feel like it's a moment where people have a mutual understanding.
So all the victims, FYI, in Travis's point of view, we're healing through his concerts. So he's going to keep doing concerts in honor of your lost ones so he can heal, because his music's going to heal everybody.
And
can I clear something up real quick?
Yeah, quickly. I'm just trying to get through this.
Okay, so people are saying that I should be more respectful of the victims. The victims are not the morons, okay?
Yeah,
the people that are commenting.
Don't even humor it, Lewis.
The people like you who are commenting saying this is a good interview because he said 100 times, you are a moron. And you're probably not even a teenager, so you're done. Don't twist my words, man. I'm telling you right now, okay? The people defending this guy after this act, they are morons 100%. They're commenting just like you moron.
Lewis,
Between Steph and this, I'm just gonna
explode. No, don't.
Yeah,
we love you, Lewis. I love Lewis.
Bring it.
Yeah, scorched earth on these.
Yeah.
Bring it.
And I will concur. Look, and I'll go even further for you, Lewis. Travis Scott sounds like a moron.
Yeah, and the
Sorry.
people defending him are morons.
You're
He certainly
fans are
doesn't sound
defending him are morons.
intelligent.
He does not sound intelligent.
He doesn't. Just in terms of just an analytical point of view in regards to the use of his the language,
you
It's catchy.
you see,
It's
freaking
rubbing
catchy,
off
ain't
on
it?
us.
Yeah, it's completely intelligible. He's not. Damn you, Travis freaking Scott! Right
but
now,
look,
you bugger.
I'm not. It's
Notice
not,
I
hold
haven't
on,
been
just to be
using that
clear.
term.
Just to be clear, I'm sure I've said a lot. I've said it but not to the extent that Travis Scott's saying it. That's the point here. Like it's noticeable now. You're just like, I can't hear him say anything else because all he says is like saying once in a while, saying we all stutter, we all have our problems, right? We all say things. I'm sure catch me, you'll notice it, but it's impossible to not notice how many times he says and we're keeping count. So but anyway, let's get Lewis, we love you. Ignore the trolls. You're doing great. Always say
No, I just don't want
here.
people to twist. I don't want people
but you
to
didn't
define
say
me.
that, so don't even give
I don't want
them-
people to define me.
don't
But
ever
what I was
say that
about
because
to
you didn't
say is
that.
just from like an analytical point of view regarding the use of his language, it's not intelligible whatsoever. The sentences that he uses, a lot of it doesn't actually make sense when you really go into it and you analyze it. He's contradicting himself. He's not providing fully formed opinions and then justifications for them whatsoever. A lot of them are just really throwaway comments to try and really appease the masses. But he's just, in a way, and it's kind of clever in a way, he's saying as little as possible, but but in a really unintelligible way. It's so strange.
Haley
Think this interview's good.
Haley has just confirmed 276 times. Haley, you rock. Keep counting. Here we go.
The first things first, before anything, is that we address, a lot of safety concerns. I think the first things first is that, because not even just for me, you don't want other, artists to have to go and take a part of that trauma, take a part of that experience.
Oh,
take a
yes,
part of
trauma
that,
now. Oh, I take it back. I
that
think
fear.
everything
You
I
don't
said.
want concert goers to still be a part of that fear. You want them to feel safe. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's just the first things first. And I think
We don't need to take accountability. We don't need to figure out who fucked up at his show. We just need to figure out how to fix it for the next one. It's what he wants is the talking point here. You all catching that, audience? Like, he does not want accountability here. He wants to figure out how do we fix it so I can go back and Live Nation can promote it and we all just keep doing what we're doing. He does not want accountability here. It's clear as day. So no, this is not a good interview.
once we take major steps into moving in that direction, I feel like, it could be cool for people to practice that healing again, and understand that. I don't think people should run away from it and shy away from it. I think, it's a form of healing,
So he's going to go back on tour. Can he handle it? Yes, because it's a form of healing for him to go back and make money and continue to make money touring, and just make sure that someone
you have the
fixes
right
what
to go
happened.
to his tour. Everyone listening to, and I know you're all listening to me right now. You have the right to go to his tour, but I'm going to tell you right now, shame on you for
Supporting this guy.
financially
Yeah.
helping this guy by buying a ticket.
I agree with you there.
No matter what you do at any of your shows in the future, regardless of how much security, how much safety you put in place, you cannot control human behavior.
Yeah.
You can't control 40, 50,000 people doing whatever.
Yes,
it is
he's
they
the one
do.
that's
That's it.
inciting
That's
the bloody
such
human behavior
bullshit.
in the first place.
That is
B
such
fucking ass. He was arrested 2015 and 2018 and pleaded guilty to public disorder charges for the freaking similar thing, whipping his fans into a frenzy and creating this absolute mayhem. BS. Charlemagne, no.
Yeah,
And
Charlemagne.
he's so much better than this, Charlemagne. I'm more disappointed
sorry.
in him.
Yeah, Charlemagne just completely is giving. So you can't control people. Bullshit. You can, as the artist, as the man on stage, you can stop a show. You can tell everyone to take 10 steps back. You can say, we're not going to continue if you don't like, he absolutely could have stopped this. And it falls on him because his team fucked up. His team did not stop him. And the fact that he's not mad at his team for doing that, to me, screams he knows they're all responsible. So he's got to be the one out front who's not taking anybody out, because he knows they're all going to get caught if he starts calling people out. Because once he starts calling somebody out, they're going to be very quick to call him out, and they're all just going to expose each other. So they're blaming the audience. That's what it sounds like to me.
I mean, yeah, but you also put trust in the fans too, to just have a good time.
Yeah,
just reinstill-
so it's a
Hold on,
fan's
Lewis.
fault.
They want. I just careful interrupting because now we can't hear. Your mics are louder. So just let me go through and I'll pause it, and then we'll check. But because I can't hear it if we overtalk. What were we gonna say, Lewis? Quickly though.
Now it's the fan's fault. That's all.
Yeah, okay.
I lowered my mic.
I just want to make sure we lower your mic a little bit because it's too loud, and then if you guys interrupt because I stop it before I try to talk, and I just don't want. I want to hear
Sorry,
it.
to
man.
lower my
I
mic.
just that this guy's pissing me off. I apologize.
No,
Anything,
but
everyone.
I just or wave at me and I'll pause it again, but just so we
Sorry.
have a clear. No, you're
I
good.
should know better. You're
Yeah,
right.
here we go.
that, and you continue to practice. When you're on stage, to just remind them. And even when they're there, to just constantly have messages to remind them, like, yo, look, you're here to have a good time. We're not here. If you see somebody, help another. I think it's just continue to reinstill that message.
Yeah, continue to instill the message of, hey, you stole my shoe, beat him up. Hey, rage! Instill that message. That, Lewis. Now your chance. Do you feel a sense of love on all the clips and things that we've shown about Travis Scott concerts?
There were so many. I've said it before, but I mean, I guess the audience recycles. So I'll say it again. There were a lot of clues that this thing was going to happen before, which leads me to think that this is going to happen, or it can happen again. Unfortunately, they're not fixing anything. And look, let's be real. The reason he doesn't call out other segments of the organization that's supposed to be in charge of safety and all that is because they probably try to use shortcuts with the event, and they're all within the same family or group. So they, instead of hiring professionals, they probably hired like friends of the family, right? So then they could have everyone the money. There's less splitting of the pie. I think I'm starting to notice that pattern here because he doesn't call out the company that's was supposed to be in charge of safety or whatever. Because there's a lot of I don't know, man. Fuck this guy.
I know. Here we go. Sorry, I'm eating an apple. I need some energy.
I think help that mindset.
Yeah, so Astroworld was one of, several ways you gave back to Houston. Do you think you've, lost that privilege to do that?
To be honest, I haven't really thought about that because I've just been thinking about just community healing and, the family's healing and, all those things kind of building back up.
That could take forever though. I don't know if you ever truly heal from these type of situations.
Yeah. And, but, through these things, like I say, music is part of healing. And at the end of the day,
His music will heal everybody.
I just don't think, a Travis Scott show or, an Astroworld show, wasn't the bottom line factor of what happened here, And I think we just got to figure out what that was, what happened. But, having a Travis Scott show, we've done shows, all over. That wasn't the, what happened here, something that happened here, And that's why we want to fix it, because it can happen.
Something happened here, but it wasn't him. He doesn't know what happened, guys. But he knows it wasn't a Travis Scott or Astroworld show. None of his inciting violence, his previous riot, none of that. None of him telling we let the wild ones in, the merch, the crowds. None of that had anything to do with this, Lewis and Steph, But we have to figure it out because I don't know what caused it. But I know it wasn't me. Are you buying that?
No, because again, he's been found guilty of it before. He's been found guilty of this before. It is on record. He acts like an idiot on stage. He puts them all in a rage, in a frenzy, because that's how he likes it, hyping it up until the crowd gets completely uncontrollable. But for me, my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, he lives for that madness. For him, I can only imagine if the crowd doesn't get up into a frenzy like that, he might consider then that show to be an absolute fail. It's a win for him, in my opinion, when it goes like that.
I agree.
He's been found guilty of this BS before. For him to turn around and say, oh, no, it wasn't my fault. Oh, quite literally, it is. You've done it before. You've got a history of it. Dude is screwed. And I really do hope that every single person that is eligible to do so goes after him for justice, whatever that may mean, whether it's through criminal, civil courts, whether it's, suing him to get justice that way. There are other entities that are to blame as well, don't get me wrong. I'm not just focusing my whole blame on Travis here, of course not, but he's a huge part of it. He was on stage in the first place. And at the end of the day, when you've got an artist on stage and a buttload of people, they are looking to that artist. That artist has power over those people, has control over those people. And for him to turn around and say, basically, no, I don't, he's lying as far as I'm concerned. It's completely disingenuous, and he's talking out of his backside.
Well said. Can you turn your mic just down a little bit? I'm going to lift you back because I guess I can't turn up his YouTube, so you guys need to go a little quieter for me. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Is that better?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Anywhere.
Go.
You know what I'm saying? And I think once we get further along in that, I think, it'd be a little bit more receptive, I feel.
Just you as an
It'll be a
individual,
little bit
when
more
you
receptive.
perform again, what precautions will you take moving forward? Just you.
So Charlemagne is here setting the narrative that, when you perform again, because he's clearly just going to get away with this and perform again, there will be no repercussions. So when you do, what are you going to do?
Based off what you can personally.
He doesn't know anything, apparently, right? He's still not taking accountability, but let's see. What are you going to do when you perform again?
Control. What precautions would you take moving forward?
I'll do the same thing I've, been doing, just double,
I'll do the same thing I'm doing. He's learned nothing. I'll do the same thing. I'll just double down on security.
Making sure everybody is on post, and I'll do the,
He couldn't hear anybody. He couldn't do anything, but he's going to do the same thing and just, make sure everyone's on post, even though he's not even letting his own team take accountability. He's not calling anyone on his team. But yeah, this is a good interview, right? Sansa and everybody else. Oh, I'll just do everything I've been doing, but I'll just, double down and making sure I'm paying attention, which he wasn't. And no one was telling him anything. Not like I'm going to make sure my team in place has an easier way to contact me if there's ever a problem, that I have someone who's there listening to the medic and fire chats. I'm going to make sure I have way more transparency and people shut my show down if I need to. None of that's what he's telling you, right? No, he's just going to double down on making sure everything's okay.
I thought he wasn't in charge of that.
I'm just making sure that everyone is locked in. Everyone is aware. Everyone is on response. Everybody is on, on it. You know what I'm saying? And
you guys trust Travis's instinct to make sure everyone's on it? You gonna sign up for Astroworld the next one? Because I sure as fucking ain't.
Look out. Try to, if you felt like it wasn't there more, push for it to be more. push the call and response more with the fans.
Like, what do you mean? Like, are y'all okay?
Or, try to have some sort of call and response with the fans while still being
Are you alive? Is everyone in the crowd alive?
smooth in the performance. Because at the end of the day, it's still
It's
performance
got to be smooth, though.
art.
It's got to be performance art. Like when he's like, put your middle finger in the sky. Put 2 middle fingers in the sky. You know, some serious art, right, Lewis? That middle finger in the ass is art. He's an artist.
You know what I'm saying?
Not demonic at all, putting the middle finger in the sky to God. He's a man of God. Jesus Christ.
And that's why the whole idea about this is you want to make sure that is all these factors are done before we even go into these things, you know? Because you want to just, when you go in, you want to have the mindset that, okay, people are going to be okay. We can have a good show. If anything's going down, people are going to be right there to be the first one to get to them, you know.
You know, like the way it should have been this time.
And if there's going to be any communication, communication, but, you know, I think, yeah.
When you did stop the show, how did you see that one person?
I mean, he was right there, you know. You had you had people like
I couldn't ignore him because he was right in fucking front of me. Is what that sort of means to me.
just spread it out.
I was just
you know? And so I'm looking, I'm like, oh. So I just called down and, the medics just came in, responded, got him out, you know?
That's the only one you saw that.
Yeah, that's the only one I saw.
Oh, okay. I'm glad it's on record because even Charlemagne was like, yeah, you did it a few times during the show. Travis just confirmed for everyone's record that was the only time he did it during that show.
And then, when I seen the lights in the back, I just double checked, make sure everyone was okay. I got a response that everyone was okay.
He double checked when he saw the lights in the back. He's talking about the ambulance guys. And remember, what the fuck is that? Was his response. Remember when the ambulance is in the background? He goes, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
How normal is that?
Didn't
to
he-
see-
Go ahead, what?
Sorry. Didn't he claim initially earlier on that he didn't even notice the ambulances at all?
Yeah. Well, here's his response.
ambulances and everything else at these festivals?
Well, it was lights, so, and ambulances don't really have like red and blue lights,
Oh, so you thought it was
I don't. You don't know. You just looking at his lights. That's why I asked. I'm just like, yo, is it an ambulance? It's like, what's going on? You don't know if it's like somebody got some lights up there.
It was an ambulance. No, you didn't ask what was going on because if you had, and your team was tight, right? They would have told you, oh, there's an ambulance trying to come because there's a lot of people and casualties. But you didn't fucking ask. You asked everyone to put their middle fingers in the sky.
Doing some turn. You don't know.
He thought someone was doing something turnt with the lights, guys. You don't know. Oh, so cool. Maybe ask. Maybe like go to the side and be like, yo, is that an ambulance? Are we okay? Could someone check out what's going on? No. He's turn it up, y'all.
No, but he didn't get a response. So, you got a response from the fans. I asked everyone to put their hand up.
He didn't get a response. I never saw him asking. Is everything Steph, Lewis? Do you feel like he did a good enough job to find out? Wondering if everyone was okay.
A good job. It didn't even do that at all.
Right.
Like, you couldn't even say if he did a good job or not because he didn't do the job in the first place of doing that.
saw the ambulance was making sure his shoes were still on.
Yeah. Seriously.
And then didn't get a response from anything else. So, just carried on.
Does it make you feel judged when you see videos?
Does it make you feel judged that now that's after the ambulance? No pressing by Charlemagne the God of interviews. Jesus, the God of softball asking nothing. Charlemagne, do you feel judged?
Circulating of other artists stopping their shows like to check on fans since Astroworld, because it's almost like the insinuation from other artists is that like you didn't do enough, so we don't want to be like Travis.
You see how he asked a tough question, but he had to be like, they're like, can you believe these artists are like trying to insinuate you don't do enough, Travis? Like he has to ask every hard question in sort of a soft, permissionable way. It's so frustrating to watch this interviewer.
I take it as, they're just taking extra precautions, because it might not have been something that,
They're taking extra precautions. You mean like they're doing the right thing and making sure their audience is safe? That's extra, guys. So when when the band stops a show, that's extra precaution. Oh, okay.
was running through their mind at time before, and they're just taking extra precautions.
So you don't do that, is what you're admitting?
To, make sure they don't run through the same problems.
Yeah, do the right
I
thing.
commend them for that. You know, I've always done the same thing, you know, in my prior shows and at this show. So, I feel them, you know. I just think it's been a little bit more, people are more capturing it now, like, because of what's going on. I think that's just how the media works.
It's just the media. That's what it is.
Do you feel like your team right now is allowing you to do everything that you possibly could do?
And as far as what?
Just as far as like anything regardless of the situation, you know, speaking out,
Well,
reaching out to families, whatever.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of legal into it, but at the end of the day, I'm human, so I want to do so much to try to like help and heal, and you want to give time for people to heal, and you want to give time, but I want to be able to like go and start taking these steps to,
Perform again. I don't want to wait for the investigation. I just want to go put more people in jeopardy.
addressing these these problems and getting to the solutions, addressing the solutions and addressing ways to fix these things from happening in the future.
Like not telling your fans to break in and overcrowd and to not encourage blood and rage and to not get two already lawsuits against you, right? That you already were sued for rioting. Like the audacity of this guy, as if he didn't already have warnings, Steph. Do you know what I mean? Like this guy has been warned previously and he still needs to learn. How many more opportunities do you want to give him personally?
0. You say warned, I'm going back to it. He's been found guilty twice of this, guys. Twice. And it's still the ego, the hubris of this dude to think that, I can do it again. Why the hell not? Where 10 people are now killed because, partially, of his actions. Because, again, there's a couple more entities that are involved that share the blame on this one. It's absolutely outstanding how he's not even justifying himself. He's not even trying. Think about it, he's not even justifying himself. All his intention is yeah, it's the fans, it's their fault basically, as far as I'm concerned. That's what he's saying. And I just want to tour again. I just want to make money off my fans again. That's it. That's all I'm aiming.
And I think that's the main thing. And I've always took pride in trying to lead things and go and attack things and, be the first to jump out and go do it, so.
Not do it right, just first to do it.
I'm more than, happy enough to go.
But then there's the person Travis Scott, but then there's the business of Travis Scott. So I'm sure there's a lot of people around you trying to protect the business.
Yeah.
So for you personally, how much do you want to protect the business as well?
Well, that is a weird but great question, because he's acknowledging the problem here. Travis is a business, not just a person, not just a human. He is a business. And all of these entities who are responsible and involved in being sued are all in the Travis Scott business. And if his business goes out, they all are going to take a hit. So they're all protecting each other. So it's a very good question, but let's see what he says.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, people have to understand these businesses aren't built because, you Charlemagne, I'm Travis. So it's like...
Yeah, they are. There's a Travis Scott brand and there's a Charlemagne brand. What are you talking about? You both hire people and have people working for your business.
It's cared about, the fans. I don't give a, it's about them. Mm-hmm. So...
Bullshit.
It's like... Obviously, it's like business.
Your fans are the customers, you piece of shit. Don't lie about it.
This and this, but I've always been the one that's pushed back on vocally, yo, we gotta, this is about, the fans, and the team has always felt the same way. And anytime I've ever done anything corporately, that's just how I've always been. It's just we want to go do things to make sure that the people that are experiencing this product is having the best experience. It's not about what we could do, the numbers, that's not what we chase here. We chase for people to have the best experience. We want people to enjoy themselves. We want people to walk away with just ideas. Wow, this is You know.
You know? Yeah, Lewis, you ready to walk out of a show? I want to send Lewis to the next show if he ever goes
Hell
back,
no.
so I can document what kind of amazing experiences you come up with afterwards, Lewis.
You know what? I'm down. Well, if you could get in a free ticket without anybody get paid, I'll go in there and go live.
Yeah, for real. We should
But
totally.
no one
do it.
gets paid. I don't want anybody that has
I
to do with that
you.
concert.
I want to see you interviewing the morons really badly. Actually,
Well, check
You
this
can go
out,
to the
bro.
parking lot maybe and just do it. Not
Check
to go.
this out, bro. And Steph and Andy, check this out, and everyone watching. So TMZ posted Travis Scott does not take responsibilities for the deaths. Right? Someone, a woman posted this as a response. All right, which I can't believe it. It's not his fault. He didn't force anyone to go to the concert. So my question is, if a lady gets assaulted, is it her fault for wearing a short skirt? You know, this is so stupid. That's why I used the word moron. So now he doesn't take responsibility because no one forced him to be, no one forced anyone to go to the concert. It's like, well, look, according to life, when you go to a concert, you don't get stomped on. All right. So that's why those people went there. And check it out. If they knew that was going to happen, my bet is they wouldn't have gone. Okay. Yeah. So get out of here. And this is what I'm talking about. Morons. People will be going to his concert and stuff, just like I predicted after. No repercussions for evil people. That is a problem in America, actually.
Well said.
I'm always protective of America. Out of everyone, when somebody tries to talk shit about my country, I clap back. That is a problem. Like Steph said, worshiping movie stars or celebrities. Going back and you know, blaming the victim for going to a concert. Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't have to go to my concert. I'm sorry, your kids are dead. You know, what is that shit?
I don't know. And we need another count. Let's get the count as we go. Here we go. Keep going. We have 10 minutes left.
They say that there's no permanent friends or enemies in business. So, you know, if anybody decides to back away from Travis Scott on a corporate level, do you care?
No.
Bullshit. Do you care? What I don't care.
But I've never jumped into things with people that didn't know me.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone I surrounded myself with, you know, it's always been, you know, a backbone and, you know, supportive to anything I want to do to help fix anything that could be a good cause, you know. So, you know, I'm thankful for that, you know.
If the families of the victims never forgive you,
if the families never forgive
ever
you,
be able,
dude, this shit's kind of
yourself?
incoherent, dude.
The question was, if the parents never forgive you, will you be able to live with that? What the fuck kind of question is that? Who cares? Of course.
And asked as he's slouching on
in
the sofa
fog
or whatever.
it looks like they were smoking weed or something. What the fuck? What a stupid
disrespectful,
question.
man.
If the families never forgive you, will you be able to live with that? Who cares what Travis Scott? Oh my God.
Complete
it's
disrespect
tough.
to the families.
Yeah, totally. Well,
Complete disrespect to families.
sorry, you
But
thought.
don't worry, Steph. He said it's tough.
Yeah,
it's
that was a
though.
long pause, and he said it's tough.
You know, it's real tough.
You know, it's tough. You know, it's real tough.
Because I want them to really know that my intentions, you know, wasn't to harm their family at all. It's for them to come to have a good experience.
So, are you sorry that it didn't go that way?
You know, and like, you know, I've always feel like I have a connection with my fans, you know, through the music. I feel like when they come to see me, it's not just like, oh, they come in it's like a connection. Mm-hmm. And, you know, sometimes not knowing, you know, people not understanding like artists and where we come from, it could be a disconnect. And, you know, I would love to, you know, instill that understanding and, you know, for them to truly know where my heart's from. You know, it didn't come for me to harm, and it wasn't about a show to keep, you know, at all. You know, it's about for them to have, you know, a very good time, and it's tragic that it didn't.
That was such a terrible answer. He's just no. The victims need to understand that's not what I wanted. That's not what I want. Dude, who fucking cares what you want? Who fucking cares what you want? The question was stupid for that one because you just set him up to look like an idiot. And it's like you answered the question and you fell into the trap because there is no proper answer to that. Can you live? Who cares how you live? The answer is like, who cares what I can do? These families lost their loved ones. Who fucking gives a shit about me? That's what someone with empathy would say, right? That's the proper answer. Like, that's just, you would call it like, what's a stupid question? Because it's not about me. It doesn't matter what I think or what I'm going to be able to deal with. But he can't even, he takes it like, yeah, I wish I could tell all the families who've lost who lost their young son. Oh, I wish you could know what I really care about. Bullshit. And I wanted to call it a quote. Someone, Barb said in the comments, he's already forgiven himself. That's what it is. He's like, he's moved on. He's accepted it. He's like, why hasn't everybody else moved on? I'm over this. Can we just, come on, I'm so sorry, guys. I want to put on a better show so the next one's even better. He's learned nothing. He's learned nothing. And this almost frustrates me to fucking hell because you have to take accountability. You have to take, this isn't cancel culture. This is really, you did something wrong and our society and the culture. And if you're famous enough, you get a slap on the wrist and we move on, we forget about it. And then the guy did nothing, nothing happened. And all these rich Kardashians, Jenners, everybody, they're all just going to fucking get away with this, guys. And it's fucking terrifying. This guy takes no responsibility, like he learned nothing. Sorry, Lewis, what were you going to say?
Yeah, it's so incredible how revealing and you see how out of touch some of these, people, elitists are. Like, it's almost like he watched the Alec Baldwin interview and said, you know what? I'm going to make Alec Baldwin hold my beer. It's like incredible, man. It's like, it's incredible. Travis Scott has not answered any question coherently, dude. I don't even know what he's saying here.
I don't know.
I gotta be honest with you.
We've listened to this man for an hour, and I feel so much dumber because of it. And half of his answers were total bullshit. But that's the problem. Yeah. There's just no substance. People don't need substance anymore. They just need beats and auto-tune.
Turn out that way, you know.
Do you feel like you're being villainized?
Oh my God.
Do you feel like you're being villainized?
I mean,
yes, he does.
I feel like it comes with being in a seat.
There it is.
You know? And I feel like
comes with my fame, you know, because
at me because it's my festival, or they want to, you know, it's I am who I am, you know.
I'm Popeye.
And it maybe not a lot of like understanding about like what's going on, but you know, like I said before, I feel like I can kind of like take that in a sense. Because my whole career, I feel like people have been trying to do that, and I feel like I've shown through actions that that's not my character. Mm-hmm. That's not, you know, that's not who I am. I'm shining through positive, you know. And I feel like, you know, with understanding and with everything, I feel like people understand that what my heart wasn't there to be the villain, you know. I was there to be like a hometown hero.
You know, the day before
All right,
Astroworld.
so I wasn't I wasn't there to be the villain.
You know, the team is always fun.
I was there to be the hometown hero.
Maybe not a lot of like understanding, you know, grieving and.
Is that where I was at?
I was doing those things before, not, you know.
Fuck, I lost my place.
You know, your heart and all this, and
be the villain, you know.
There it is.
I was there to be like a hometown hero.
He was there to be the hero, and now he's upset that he's the villain, is what's happened here. And it's yet again more proof that he's not, that he's a victim. And I want to call out Person. In fact, I'm going to invite him in. Person, Sansa, if you are the person who's saying these comments, put your face where you're, put it in, come in here, and please join this conversation. I just put the Zoom link in. For anybody who's watching this and thinking Person just said, Travis's past conduct aside, which you're ignoring, Person, there's literally no proof Travis knew anything. You guys are trying so hard to make him seem like a psychopath. He can't answer most questions. Lawsuit, guys.
Well, look, I do.
Hold on. Can I respond to him? Person, you're not listening. You're not listening. And I want you to call in because I'd rather say it to you in your face and ask you about it. If Travis indeed didn't know and wasn't told, why isn't he fucking angrier? A lawsuit for what? Lawsuit to say, I'm fucking pissed that my team didn't do this. I'm fucking pissed that Law Nation did this. You're telling me, Person, you don't think Travis Scott understands what happened at this concert this far out. You really are telling me you're buying this bullshit that he's just, we've got to figure what happened. I don't know. Is it Live Nation? The Live Nation's going to help us figure out what happened. All previous things aside, no, you got to factor those in too, brother, because that's part of this. And it's not just Travis; it's all of them, also. And I'm not calling him a psychopath, but I mean, I guess in a way he really is, because he's showing no emotion, and that's, I'm sorry, given everything and the tragedy that happened, the loss of life, children, this doesn't make any sense. It's all about him, you know. It's he's in with an interviewer who's not asking any tough questions, because he's afraid to, I don't understand where these people are coming from. So I beg of you, please call in. Let's have a conversation back and forth, because I'd like to do it. He wanted to be the hometown hero, not the villain. That's why he's doing the interview. It's so telling. It's so revealing when he says that, because he's mad that people are mad at him. He was supposed to be the hero, guys. How can you fucking say that out loud, knowing 10 people are dead? Dude, he's responsible. It's his fucking show. When a president is in a term, right? Something goes wrong. President takes off. Yeah, that was on my watch. We got to figure out what happened. Like, that's how fucking good leadership works. This guy isn't a leader. He's not an artist. He's a punk. And I'm so sick of these people who are saying we're calling it. Oh, we're just blaming Travis. No, we're listening and reacting, and he's off. This is not right. This is what he's doing is wrong, and he absolutely needs to take responsibility. And I hope you'll call in, because I have the guts. Call in and say it to our faces instead of just on a super chat. I want to keep finishing, Lewis, but quickly, what we're gonna say?
Oh no, that person said, forget about the incidents before. He's innocent. Well, I say, he could be innocent if you forget about the many previous incidents. Him staring at the people dying at the concert and ignoring it. If you ignore that, and if he didn't have the concert where this incident happened, he's good. And if he wasn't a talentless hack that incites violence, if you minus everything, he's a good guy. What kind of a question is that, man? From the, anyways, call in.
There you go. Call in, whole person. Let's see if you have the guts to call in. Here we go. Let's keep watching the meanwhile.
The day before Astroworld, there's footage of you discussing the importance of giving back to your community and how much it means to you to be able to do that. Do you think people have forgotten, your heart in all this and what Astroworld was truly about?
How, are you fucking kidding me, Charlemagne? Really? Are you kidding me? People forgot that you gave a lot of charity before the concert. Do you think people need to be reminded that you give a lot of charity? What the fuck kind of question is that? How the fuck does that have anything to do with what we're talking about? You are very charitable. We need to make a point of that. Let's hear his response.
I think people, are grieving, and it can get, misplaced with, who cares about that? What's going on right now? But, like I said, I just want to continue to, stay on those stepping blocks and continue to doing the charity I've been doing, and continue to doing the community work I've been doing for Houston. I was doing those things before, not looking for people to pat me on the back for them. I was just doing them simply to make a change. And so you wouldn't be surprised if people don't, pay attention to some of those things throughout whenever you are doing them, but that's not what you're doing for, really. So I feel like at the end of the day, you continue to do those things regardless, Do
you think you'll ever be able to recover from this emotionally?
Do you think you'll ever be able to recover from this emotionally?
Ridiculous.
That's what the focus is on. And I see person. All right, we got person, a couple others. Person's in there. I'm going to get you person. Just wait. We're almost done this interview.
My grandmother, my dad, my mom, they've always told me to, put your faith in God and hide behind his wing. And at the end of the day, I think you gotta, I've always told myself, things are gonna get, it's hard, things can be feeling amazing sometimes and things can get real hard, and I think how you respond to things and where you channel your emotions is very important, especially at a time like this. And I gave my, it was hard for me to really, because it is the first time anything like this. I've even seen anything like this, heard of it, and it be happening, to this whole community. It just, it just, you know, you kind of just, you want to be able to channel that emotion to just respond, and you got to be strong, man. Stepping in and doing the things for the community doesn't come with being, you know, too weak. You got to be able to, you know, step through these things and show people that you really care. You know, this wasn't just to get to the point to do this, but it was really to create active change, you know? And I think, you know, these are, you know, it's these moments right now where you gotta really show, you know, where your heart is in this thing, you know? And I think, you know, that's what I've always, you know, wanted to do, and, you know, I wanna just continue to do that.
I'm glad you mentioned your family, because that was one of my last questions. Like, how important is family been in this situation?
You know, it's been
So again, all these questions are at the end. They're piling them on, so we feel terrible for Travis. Is what's happening right now, and I don't doubt that he's been going through shit. Like, it just sucks to be Travis right now. Absolutely.
important, you know. All my family was there.
They left early. We're not going to ask that question though, right? We're not going to ask if they knew.
Too, you know, so it's been important. But to be able to have them and bounce back, you know, ideas, and, you know, them grieve.
Bounce back ideas of what? How to handle this PR disaster? Is that what he's admitting?
But, you know, for those families as well. Pray for those families as well. Continue to, you know.
They don't want anything from you, man. They're suing you. Stop trying to sound like you're working with the families. Again, this is weird behavior. We keeps using him like, we're working with the families. No, you're not. Most of them rejected you.
Them also being a helping hand as well, you know, which gives me more hands to help. I feel like, which is more important. And, you know, them always having my back to support the idea, want to create this change, I think, you know, at least gives me more confidence that, you know.
They want to support his idea to make this change, to make safer concerts. Like, it just couldn't get any dumber to me. Of like, you mean you want to do what should have been done the first time and what's done at all other concert venues? Oh, cool. They support your wanting to do change to be safer at your next concert, but not face any accountability as to who fucked up and helped cause 10 deaths and hundreds of injuries. Oh, you know, hey, we'll fix it the next time, guys.
I'm not in this alone, you know what I'm saying? To help fix this, you know, for the families, for the community.
As a superstar,
As a superstar.
it's weird, right? Because these same outlets that report on this tragedy, when something like the W cover leaks, then now they want to get back to your relationship. And whether you and, you know, Kylie are together or not. Is that not strange to you?
What a weird. So he basically wants to ask about Kylie, but he's trying to do it slyly. It's such a weird, stupid question. Because what was the question really? What's strange that the W wanted to know if they're still. They did a whole profile on them together.
I mean, yeah. So I don't really only do magazines I like, you know?
I only do magazines I like, you know? He only talks to people who are going to treat him with softballs, is what that is.
But, you know, a magazine gonna try to like figure out what the fuck they want to figure out, you know? I've never did anything for a relationship for, you know, anybody to try to figure out or put a label on what they want to put it on. You know, we know what our relationship is, and, you know, so just stand strong on it.
So I guess my final question, man, who does Travis Scott ultimately, I guess, think is responsible for this tragedy?
There's the question. Okay, and let's bring in a person. Bringing in a person, because I want to hear this answer because I know the answer. Is person a cousin of Travis Scott? Yvonne, I saw your chat. Someone on here said he is a cousin of Travis and will talk to anyone. Okay, let's find out. Person is setting up. Person, are you there? Now, I have no idea who person is or what it is. I'm also cutting away so I don't see any weird video happen. In fact, I'm gonna. Person, you gotta set up your.
I think we're connecting audio now.
Pin. Okay, we're waiting for the person to connect their audio. All right, well, person's hopefully paying attention. because I don't see their audio. But here's the question, the answer.
You know, it's crazy because something tragic happened here, and what I've just been trying to, you know, get to the bottom of is just what happened here, how it happened here, and you know, I think the families are owed, you know, that. I feel like, you know, the community is owed that. I feel like we're owed that to just know what happened here, and you know, I don't want to just speak too soon. I just want to figure out, you know, what happened, you know. Mm-hmm. But you know, we, like I said, you know, as artists, we just leave this up, you know, to professionals to make sure that we, you know, that fans are having a good time. You know, people are protected and can, you know, leave and have the best experience ever.
You know they're going to pick this interview apart. So is there anything you?
So he took no responsibility there, is what I want to make sure everyone heard, and that's as we got a person on the phone line. Also, Drippy Whips, they're saying is Drippy is. Can we prove that? Drippy Whips, if you're indeed Tyler's Travis's cousin and want to come on, the Zoom link's out and about. To anybody who wants to challenge what we're saying here and wants to say another opinion, we always try to hear everybody out. So feel Drippy and join us as well. So person, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We have 2 minutes left of this, so let me just finish this interview, and then we'll talk. But that last part was pretty crucial. Of he didn't admit to any responsibility. He just his responsibility is figuring out how to make sure this never happens again. But here's the final thought.
Okay, no problem.
You want to say, you know, to your fans, to the family of people who lost loved ones, you know, before we get out of here?
I mean, I want everyone to just continue praying for the fans. I want people to continue praying for the fans that was lost. Mm-hmm. You know, I want people to continue praying for the families. I want people to continue just reaching out for healing. I want people to continue to just be there for each other. And remember that, you know, that love is just, you know, everything. And with that, you know, we can try to cure everything, you know, and take steps into, you know, healing. And I think the more we try to, you know, continue to let people grieve and continue to be there for people and, you know, check in on people and, you know, check in on your loved ones and just, you know, that, you know, I think that's just like one of the most important things, and, you know, staying strong through this while we, you know, figure out what's going on, you know, and bring understanding to these families and to the community.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna send healing energy to everybody involved, the families, you know, those who were lost, yourself, because nobody wants tragedies like this to happen.
Yeah, not at all.
So preventing them moving forward is the only thing we can do.
Yeah.
That's the only
Appreciate
thing
you,
we
brother.
got. Not
Yes,
take
sir.
accountability or find out why it
Absolutely.
happened. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I did end it here, but if you want to watch the full video, you can always become a member. Hit that join button. You can become a member and always catch all of our full member replays. This one was already pretty long. I don't even know where I stitched it, but I made this ending in case I did, so I could split a little closer to get you just the interview. There was a lot going on, so thanks to everybody who watched and donated. Thank you to Lewis. Thank you to Steph, the Alter Nerd. Thank you to all you guys at home. Appreciate you guys watching our stream. Make sure you catch us every weekday around 12:30, sometimes 1. Who knows? It's Andy time. Stay tuned. I'm always here. If you haven't already, though, hit that subscribe, hit the bell for all alerts, smash that like button, all that jazz to help get the word out, because this video is already limited, demonetized, of course. For what? Why? We said nothing that should be, but the powers that be don't like to keep us free. Seems weird. Very scary. But I appreciate you guys watching on the live feed and everywhere else. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to everybody who watched. Enjoy your day and be good. Be excellent to each other. Bye, everybody.